Hello, Acolights! How are you doing today? First of all, before I forget anything, let's turn on the music. I know I forgot last week. I thought it was a pretty good stream. Realized, afterward, sound completely off. It was awful. Terrible feeling, actually. I never want to feel that feeling again. So, I've internalized it, and I've committed it to memory. I will never forget it ever again, because I'd never want to feel like that again. That said, today, we are going to prove our innocence once and for all. We're going to do it. No questions shall be had. Let's hope I remember the voices for everyone. 22nd November, 1:14 p.m. Supreme Court of Judicature. Courtroom 2. Alright, she had some important evidence to share with us.
Well, I understand you are the judicial assistant to the defense, but why this sudden ingress into my courtroom?
Ha! A judicial assistant and a woman no less. The rules state that females are not permitted into this court of law other than to testify.
Yes, I fully understand. I ask only for 5 minutes of time. I have some vital evidence that I must hand over to the defense.
Ha! You're too late, little girl. This trial has already been concluded.
5 minutes. I will not allow a moment more.
But, Your Excellency!
I am most grateful. Alright, what do you have to say? What do we got? Who exactly are you? I'm sorry, there's no time. Please, simply accept this for now. What is it? A report about something? Written in English? Man, I don't understand English. It's Giselle Brett's research. The Englishwoman's. After the trial resumed earlier, I hurried back to the university. I went to Dr. Wilson's laboratory in the medical faculty and borrowed this paper.
Oh yes, that's right. Miss Brett was studying under the professor, wasn't she?
So, does this research, whatever it is, have something to do with the case? I'm afraid I don't know. Honestly, I don't speak English either. I'm hoping it does. That said, good luck. I haven't been able to listen to the proceedings of the trial myself. Oh, no, of course not.
Special characteristics of curare and its effects on human subjects. Interesting.
Curare? Curare? What's that? I've never heard that word before.
Time's up, losers! The prosecution demands the immediate removal of this female trespasser from the courtroom.
There was too little time for me to read it in detail, but I've summarized what I could on a note just inside the cover. If you think it could be valuable, please cast your eye over it.
This is wonderful.
Oh no, this is wonderful, thank you. Giselle's report has been entered into the court record. A report detailing an unknown poison that Miss Brett has been researching. Oh, a poison you say? Huh, man, wild, crazy. It's almost like she probably poisoned the professor or something. Goodbye then, and good luck. You'll probably need it. I'm fading out.
You have had long enough, counsel. We cannot detain our English guest any longer. I ask the prosecution and the defense now one last time. Does either side have any further evidence to present to the court? I presume not, but...
The prosecution has made its case convincingly enough already. Nothing more to add, Your Excellency.
Ryunosuke, we're out of options here. This really is our very last chance.
Yeah, I know. Your Excellency, the defense does have new evidence.
That look. The unyielding stare of a true Japanese warrior. Sorry, is that racist? Never mind. Well, Miss Brett?
Yes, Your Excellency?
If you wouldn't mind, perhaps you could grace us with your presence a little longer.
It's a delightful invitation, but I'm afraid it's not so very long until tea time. I'll have to politely decline.
Forgive me, Miss Brett. It seems I wasn't clear. I realize it was phrased as a question. However, I must ask you to treat that as an order.
I've said it many times before, but the Japanese language makes no sense.
My apologies, dear lady. Anyways, so counsel, what is the new evidence that demands the court's attention?
Okay, well, I mean, it's definitely this, but I kind of want to examine it first. Synopsis. A poison made from the bark of certain trees in the jungles of South America. The hunters of the region have used it since ancient times to incapacitate their prey. Effects. Instant paralysis of the entire body and subsequent death, even in minute doses. Route of entry. The above-mentioned effects occur when the poison enters the body through a wound, such as that inflicted by a blowpipe dart. Due to its ability to render the human body paralytic, it's believed that the toxin could have application as an anesthetic. However, a solution for the respiratory arrest caused as a result of the full-body paralysis must be found first, or patients would die of suffocation. Well, that's pretty damning. Yeah. No, wait, nope. That's it's R. It's R, not space. Present. Look at this, Judge. Miss Giselle Brett. We understand you were studying under Dr. Wilson at Yume University, doing research. Research, by sheer coincidence perhaps, into a deadly poison.
What?
Poison? Where are you going with this, counsel?
Judge, is you stupid?
A toxin known as curare, Your Excellency. Even the slightest amount of this deadly poison entering the body leads to instant death.
Objection! No! What complete and utter nonsense? Curare, you say? I've never even heard of it.
You wouldn't have done.
You wouldn't... I feel like they meant you wouldn't have. Well, whatever.
What do you mean?
I mean that you wouldn't have heard of curare before, for one simple reason. It doesn't exist in our country.
It doesn't exist?
Correct. Which means, no matter what tests the police can do for toxins, they'd never identify curare. Why? Because there is no test available here that can identify the presence of this highly deadly poison.
What? What are you saying? Who could have possibly done it then?
Oh, I don't know. The person who tried to take the cup from the scene of the crime, maybe? Probably.
Order! Order! Counsel, does this deadly poison truly exist? According to this report authored by the visiting research student from England, curare has long been used by the tribespeople of South America as a poison to lace their arrows. It seems that it's reasonably well known among European doctors and scientists.
To lace their arrows?
The report states that it is produced from the extract of a tree that grows deep in the Amazonian jungle, and it was first brought back to Europe at the turn of the century by explorers. It claims that animals shot by arrows laced with curare suffer instant death. Doesn't that about sum it up, Miss Brett? Don't you agree, headband? Yes.
No! Trumpery! These aspirations are utter trumpery! To start with, if the victim had been administered some of this so-called deadly poison, he would have been squirming and writhing in pain, and the other diners would have surely noticed.
That's true. What do you say to that, Inspector?
It's a fucking neurotoxin, bro. He wouldn't have.
Obviously, I would have noticed a disturbance like that.
I don't remember anything like that either. I didn't notice the professor being in any kind of pain.
According to this, however, it's the other way around.
What do you mean, the other way around?
The very fact that the victim didn't show any visible signs of duress is evidence that curare was used. Explain yourself, counsel. The moment this toxin enters a person's system, it causes instant paralysis. In other words, afflicted victims lose all strength and are completely unable to move. Even if they were in total agony, there would be no visible signs of pain at all. How terrible! Obviously, if a man lost all strength in his muscles, he'd collapse on the floor. But with a chair under him for support, as Dr. Wilson did, the effects could go largely unnoticed.
But I don't follow, Kazuma. That's just paralysis. I thought the poison caused instant death.
Humu. The full explanation is extremely unpleasant. The poison causes immediate paralysis, as I said, leaving the victim unable to move. But after a short time, the paralysis is so severe, it causes the muscles that control respiration to fail.
Respiration?
In other words, the actual cause of death is suffocation. No breathing. Don't give a fuck if I cut my arm bleeding. Anyway, all the while the victim is conscious and aware, just unable to move.
That's hideous.
Yeah, so you see why it's so bad that you're letting the criminal walk away! Come on, guys.
To the observer, it would look almost like the victim was slipping peacefully into an endless sleep. But for the victim himself, his final moments would be a living hell. That is the true nature of this deadly curare poison.
Oh, God. Jeez, bitch, you just fucking wanted this man to suffer in his last moments of life, didn't you?
And you're suggesting this bottle, counsel, actually contains this terrifying poison?
This is all very convenient, isn't it? A hitherto unknown poison for which there's no means of testing. What a happy tale for the defense. If I may. All these facts. You think you're so clever, but you must... It is you who must be taught. Of course. Your ladyship. I would fucking cross the desert and shards of fields of glass just to taste the whiff of your air. Of course you would. So, this is how you Japanese behave, is it? What? You steal another's honest hard work and then announce the results as if you discovered them? I'm appalled. What a loathsome act.
Well, Miss Brett, the feeling is mutual.
Whatever do you mean?
Capitalizing on the unfortunate circumstances of an innocent man to frame him for a heinous crime. That really is a loathsome act, wouldn't you agree?
Enough of this! I, for one, refuse to accept it, because I hate you two specifically, and she is hot. The idea of some poison that doesn't even exist in the great empire of Japan is breaking the rules.
What's so funny?
Oh, excuse me, Your Excellency.
Yes, Miss Brett?
May I borrow that bottle for a moment, please?
Well, yes, I don't see, why not?
Oh, she's gonna drink it and try to prove it? So where's the cup you used, huh? Where's the cup that's in your bag? Get the cup that's in your bag, huh?
Don't get too big for your boots, you insignificant little island boys.
Sorry.
To an Englishwoman such as myself, this whole affair is a farcical comedy. Your little police games and these foolish courtroom antics, it's laughable, really.
What?
But I'm getting bored of it all now. It's time for the games to end. Cheers.
Yep, she's gonna drink it. Nothing's gonna happen because she put it in his cup. Oh, what a surprise! You're not dead. That's crazy. What are you doing?
No sparkle left at all. How appropriate for this shabby affair.
Nothing happened! I can't believe it!
Nothing happened! I knew it!
Nothing happened? What does that mean?
Yep.
Goodness. Whatever is the matter, you all look quite stunned.
What the?
So, no curare. The bottle was clean. Is that what you're saying?
You look quite incredulous, little boy. But of course, that's the simple truth. Thank you for presenting the findings of my research so concisely here in the grand venue. Most kind. Thank you, waiter. Now then, Your Excellency.
Yes, Miss Brett?
I should like to be excused now, please. I think I've given more than enough of my time for the furtherance of friendship between our countries.
Yes, dear lady. We are most gratified with all the assistance you've given.
This doesn't make sense. There had to be poison in that bottle. So how? How did she swallow a whole glass and live to tell the tale? I don't understand it.
Well, I suppose if nothing else, this little Far Eastern charade will make for interesting conversation at the next party I attend in London.
There has to have been poison in that bottle. Doesn't there? But there can't have been, because otherwise she would have keeled over dead. Dead, bro! Come on, Ryunosuke. We have all the clues now. That bottle of water contains no poison. As I thought, there is no poison in that bottle. What? Why, Ryunosuke? Isn't it obvious? If there was poison in there, she'd be dead by now. You are correct. Sometimes your unadulterated naivete really astounds me. But sometimes it's in need of a good staining, until it's as dark as your uniform in the ways of the world. Oh, is that what this color is supposed to represent? I thought we just liked sweating our asses off in summer.
That was a guileless ending to promising line of inquiry, counsel, for which you will be penalized.
This whole trial is poisoned. There has to have been poison. Okay, so now I can go... I think I might have to just present something. Yeah, let's examine this magnifying glass. Oh no, wait. I'll just, can I present this now? No? I guess I can't present it. But there can't have been. He would have keeled over dead. Wait, does it... Come on, Ryunosuke. We have all the clues now. That bottle of water... What? Contains poison? The culprit did put curare poison into Dr. Wilson's carbonated water. The defense refuses to change its position. You're serious?
Objection!
Why did it... Okay. I have a problem with that. Why did it say the bottle contains no poison? Because there is poison, it just wasn't in the bottle.
Fool, are you blind? There's no possible way the bottle could contain poison. I mean, we just saw
Miss Brett drinking the water from it.
That's right. Which rather complicates your argument, I think.
And I believe that complication can be explained.
How exactly?
I need to think through all the things that don't quite add up here, one by one. I'm sure the answer's in the evidence we have in the court record somewhere. It has to be.
Very well. If the defense truly intends to assert this claim, then I must ask you to support the assertion with evidence. What explains how the witness was able to consume this supposed poisoned water unscathed?
The bag with the poison. Well, I mean, poison.
It seems the defense, or should I say the wretched accused, is the only real source of complication in this case. You'll have to think harder than that, defendant.
Sorry, Your Excellency. I'll try to find some better supporting evidence. What? What do you mean? Do I have to, like, zoom in and then present it? Or what? Yeah, truly intends to assert this claim. They're really calling us the wretched accused, huh? Can I, like... I mean, I can't present it right now. Can I... I can't interact with this at all. That's weird. That's annoying. Well, I mean, we already examined this last time. What do you... Then I must ask... Okay. Support it with evidence. What explains how the witness was able to consume the supposed poison unscathed? Do I have to zoom in on it now? R? E? Q? D? I'm not understanding. If it's not the fact that she took the thing with him... The post-mortem report... Actually, fatal hemorrhage. Why are we not discussing the bullet? I mean, like, obviously the poison is what did it, but I mean, who shot him? Someone had to have shot him too. Carbonated water and steak lunch. Let's examine this. Yeah, I mean, still only one cup there. I don't know. It's definitely this. But I don't know why I can't do anything about it. And he said that it's wrong. Consume the supposedly water unscathed. How she consumed this water? I don't know.
Yes!
This bottle doesn't have poison in it. Yep. You're saying it's wrong. Okay. So it's not the bottle, it's not that photo. If the defense, the wretched accused, doesn't have anything, yeah. Sketch of the layouts, restaurant's layout. Can I, like, examine this photo at all? Can I do anything? I'm not understanding. Like, did I have to do something on this? Giselle's report. I mean, I might as well present the report. The answer to this riddle is right here in Miss Brett's own research report.
Objection!
It's the research report? It's the fact that... Oh my god. I guess we'll have to bring up the cup thing later.
That's not a valid explanation.
No?
After all. We don't speak English. That report is utter gibberish. This impudent young scoundrel is trying to ridicule the court, Your Excellency.
I'm not trying to ridicule anyone, honest. I'm just reading Susato-san's notes here.
I concur. This report is too extensive to be considered in its entirety by the court. You will direct us to the pertinent section, counsel. Which section of the report reveals the alleged answer to this riddle?
The synopsis? Oh god. I need to read it again. I need to remember. Which one? Synopsis. Poison made from the bark of certain trees. Hunters have used it since ancient times. Instant paralysis, subsequent death. Effects occur when the poison enters the body. Oh, it has to be through a wound? So drinking it doesn't do anything? Dude, it's believed that toxin could have application as an anesthetic. However, solution for the respiratory arrest, full body paralysis must be found first. It has to be the special characteristics, I guess. Yeah, I'll go with the special characteristics. Because it doesn't make sense that she drank it. We've been hearing a lot about this curare poison. And it's left me curious about something.
Oh, counsel?
Well, it sounds as though indigenous hunters have been using the poison for years and years, to lace the heads of arrows that they shoot at whatever prey they're hunting.
Yes, so we've been led to believe, yes.
And the point of hunting is to catch prey to eat.
Get to the point, please.
But if they were to use these laced arrows, doesn't that mean there would be traces of poison left in the prey the hunters were going to eat?
Yes! Good point!
So surely the hunters wouldn't want to eat their prey, would they? Because then they'd be eating poison.
Good gracious, counsel, no! That would be madness!
But I actually found the answer to that conundrum in this research paper here. Under special characteristics, it says this. The poison starts to work after entering the body through a wound.
Through a wound, you say? I see, that makes sense.
Yes, the mention of that particular detail seemed a little strange to me, though. But it all makes sense when you interpret what's written like this. When curare enters the body through an open wound, it has terrifying poisonous effects. However, when it enters the body via the mouth, it has no poisonous effects whatsoever. What? Miss Brett, you authored this research, you knew curare's special characteristics, and you knew that you could make a spectacle of drinking that water without any danger to yourself. You meddling little rapscallion! Is that an actual swan on her head? Well, Ryunosuke, it turns out you're an even better lawyer than I thought you'd be. Really? Me? A lawyer?
Objection!
No! All of this poison talk is fascinating, I'm sure, but I failed to see. So, the ill-bred little puppy has a new toy to play with. Some facts he read in a book. But I'm afraid knowledge doesn't suit you, little boy. It only makes you look silly.
What are you trying to say?
Your schoolboyish logic has a fatal flaw.
Schoolboyish? Flaw?
As even your brain has managed to deduce, curare is safe to ingest. It seems likely that its effects are neutralized by the acidic nature of the gastric succus mucus.
Yeah, well, of course, gastric suckers? What?
So, if this lethal poison is completely harmless when drunk, the professor wouldn't have died when he swallowed it, would he?
That's right.
Good gracious!
That's basic science. Science that even a schoolboy should be able to understand, no?
Order in court, order! The logic holds. If the lady and the professor drank the same poison, they would be affected in the same way. Are you trying to suggest?
Yes! This curare poison is completely irrelevant to the case on trial. That's right. Surely even a little cockroach like you could understand something as simple as that.
Oh, Ryunosuke? Are you using your brain cells? What is this welling up inside me? Objection? I've never felt this before. It's a sort of conviction to break down all the discrepancies. It's so intense, almost rage-like. And more than anything else, it's an animalistic desire to take down my prey.
Objection!
Objection! Yes! First one of the series! I don't think so, Miss Giselle Brett. How dare you use that tone with me? You know very well that there is no fatal flaw here. You know exactly why. Even though both you and the victim swallowed the same poison, you are alive, but Dr. Wilson is dead.
What the fuck is going on? Come on now! Tell me what the hell is happening! As we now know, the poison is completely harmless when ingested. Why would Dr. Wilson alone have been killed by the curare?
Oh, he had the thing! No, where is it? It's this doctor report. He had things taken out so it got into his bloodstream through the mouth. Holy shit.
Take that!
Yeah, take that. As Miss Brett so readily pointed out, she drank the same water as the professor. However, there was a fundamental and fatal difference between the two diners.
A fatal difference?
The toxic effects of curare are only felt when the poison enters the body through an open wound. So, for a healthy person with no injuries, drinking it is completely harmless. But, what if there was a wound inside the mouth of the person drinking the poisoned water? Inside? Yes, like the wound you might have if you had just been to the dentist and had a tooth extracted, for example.
Oh! Holy shit, I just came in my pants! It's brilliant!
Miss Brett, you've acknowledged many times in your testimony already that you were well aware of Dr. Wilson's dental appointment that day. So that's it! You used that knowledge to orchestrate this! Hmm. Is she laughing? I don't like to repeat myself, but honestly, I can't resist. These childish courtroom games and your half-baked arguments are also puerile. What do you mean? Don't worry, little schoolboy. You'll find out soon enough. Oh, is she gonna injure herself and cut her? You see, when you leave vital evidence lying around, you never know what might happen to it. No! I mean, it could just slip. What are you saying we can't? Oh, no, wait, this is, right. Can't test on the tiny molecular particles, because this is too early. This is too early for that type of technology. Oh dear, how careless of me. I'm afraid some crucial evidence may have just been tragically destroyed. No! My life as a free man! My life as a gamer! And in the Supreme Court... See, like, in this case, what are you... So...
Officer, what are you waiting for? Collect up as much of the water from that broken bottle as possible, at once!
You're wasting your time. Like, she is literally breaking evidence and basically convincing it was her. What do you mean? Arrest her. You're wasting your time. This delightful carpet under my feet here was a gift from the British Empire. I assure you, it will soak up the water beautifully. You have neither the technology nor the presence of mind to recover it. Ha 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 ha! How could you? You won't get away with this! You can thump the bench and shout as much as you like, little boy. But I'm afraid we'll never know now, will we? If there really was poison in the bottle, or not.
You...
And let us not forget, we still have some very compelling evidence left intact. Isn't that right, counsel for the prosecution? Oh, of course! You're referring to this photographic print, I assume, dear lady. That's right. Oh, that's right. And really, looking at this photograph, it's as clear as day, isn't it? The poor professor was sitting with his back to me. So, of course, the only person who could have shot him from the front is the little schoolboy.
Ha! No! You killed the victim that day, using curare, and then, in order to frame Ryunosuke Naruhodo for the crime. You waited until he picked up the pistol you'd arranged for him to find on the floor, before you shot the professor's dead body in the chest with your own hidden gun. Then, in the confusion that followed, all you had to do was turn the dead professor in his chair around. You see, you had every opportunity to commit this crime.
What a wonderful imagination you have, young man. A hidden gun, you say? And I shot the professor's dead body, did I? Well, I'm terribly sorry, but you don't seem to have a shred of evidence. Exactly! And as you have nothing to support your wild claims, the prosecution stands remain unchanged. The victim, Dr. John H. Wilson, was killed by a gunshot to the chest. By this brat over here! By the accused Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
I don't understand. This is unbelievable. How can this be happening?
We had her, but now, is she really gonna get away with it? The way she destroyed that evidence was obscene.
Ryunosuke! Yes? We've come this far, but now you're the only one who can finish it.
What? What do you mean?
We've lost a vital piece of evidence, it's true. So if there are any clues left for us to use now, they must be in your head.
In my head?
You told me before that your powers of observation were the only thing you could depend on.
Well, yeah, that's true, but I didn't manage to notice that this woman was a foreigner with a swan on her head. I thought it was a hat. A fancy hat.
So think back again now. Try to remember every last detail about the scene that day. Everything you saw, everything you felt, every color, every smell.
Color and smell. What I saw, what I felt. What am I looking at? Every color. Color? Bruh. How am I supposed to tell? Is Kazuma, right? Somewhere in the vibrant memory of the same scene in my head. Could there be another clue to expose the identity of Dr. Wilson's killer? No, I'm just gonna say there's nothing and be sent to jail. There's a clue. There's a clue. Actually, Kazuma, I think I might have something. Thinking back over everything I saw, I think I might have uncovered another clue. Ha ha! You always have something up your sleeve, don't you, Ryunosuke? Come on then! Let's wipe the smug smile off that Englishwoman's face with some evidence! Yeah! Alright, I can't wait! It's been niggling me for a while that something feels amiss in my memories of that day. Whatever it is could be the key to arriving at the truth about all this. It's here somewhere, the clue that shows how Dr. Wilson's real killer must have been. The blood, perchance? Oh, no wait, no. Back. Is it space? Do I have to hit space? Do I have to present? That! The smudge in the photo! Inspector Hosonaga, answer me this. Yes!
What is it?
He's still miles away. Probably thinking about that bottle being smashed. As you've said a number of times now, you strive for perfection in your investigations, don't you?
Absolutely.
I wonder, therefore, if perchance you took anything else from the scene of the crime. Like, for instance, the plate of steak that you took to the victim's table that day.
Objection!
Wait a minute! Where are you going? Where are you going with this little boy?
It's just a memory that's been troubling me.
What memory?
I saw the scene shown in this photographic print with my own eyes that day. And I saw that on the wooden base of the plate that the steak was served on was a splattering of blood.
What?
Oh, really?
And what of it?
Obviously, that must have happened when you shot the professor. Lies! It didn't go through the body. The coroner's report proved it. No, that can't be the case. Take a good look at the photograph and the relative position of everything there. The plate of steak is almost directly behind the victim. If I'm supposed to have shot Dr. Wilson in the chest from the front, there's no way the blood from the victim could have ended up directly behind him. Ah! Yes. For blood to have made it onto the plate, it implies the plate was between the victim and the shooter. Which means the shooter must have been sitting opposite the professor, as you were. Giselle Brett!
I beg your pardon?
Objection!
No, it's beyond ridiculous. Fabricated nonsense. A total charade, if you will. Is this court seriously expected to believe something the accused has apparently just remembered seeing? Yes, this could be the moment that my entire career in the police force has been leading to.
Inspector, you mean...
Yes, I took the plate, in the interest of preserving evidence from the scene of the crime. I took it, meat and all, and I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief because of it.
You did what?
I took the steak that you had been eating, Miss Brett. I took the steak that Sargent had been eating. And I did it all in the name of justice.
Then we can find out for sure whether or not there's a bloodstain on Miss Brett's plate. We must examine it, now! Yeah! Throw her in prison! Get her out of here!
Inspector! The court wishes to examine the plate from the victim's table immediately.
Yes, sir! Yes, get the blood. Is there blood? Please tell me there's blood.
Sorry for the delay. Here is what you ordered, the steak.
Well, what about the blood? Is there blood on it?
Of course there isn't! There isn't, right?
Quickly, Inspector, the blood men! Show the court! I have to know! It's like a telenovela, God!
Of course. Examine the plate at your leisure.
No! Oh, God! There's no blood. No blood. No blood anywhere. But no, that's impossible! I know I saw it. I'm sure of it. It was right there on the table behind the professor. There was blood on the side of the plate. What an unbecoming expression, little boy. My swan agrees. You see, this is why I always say you can't trust what the Japanese tell you. God. Ugh. I couldn't agree more. Japanese are so untrustworthy. Wait, what race am I again? In the case of this disgrace to the Empire.
I believe we may finally have reached a conclusion in this trial.
Let's hope so. Let's pretend attempt at courtroom proceedings is painful to watch, but I do promise you to forget my... Oh my god, I can't talk. But I do promise to do my best to forget all about it when it's over. Ha! This sorry-looking steak reveals the stakes all too clearly. Stake revealing the stake. If the sorry-looking accused wishes to examine it again, be my guest. The plate of steak has been entered into the court record. Was the plate I saw, or I thought I saw, just a figment of my imagination? This is it now. I've lost.
Ryunosuke, it's not over yet. Not until the final gavel.
What do you mean?
Never stop believing in yourself. Keep looking forward, no matter what. Believe in the me that believes in you. That is the way of the One Piece. I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere.
Believe in myself? Really? Okay, let's think. Maybe I should at least examine the evidence for myself.
As the evidence requested by the defense has not been shown to be problematic in any way, I presume any further examination of evidence in this trial will be unnecessary. Does the defense have any objection?
That bloodstain was going to clinch the trial for me. Can this plate of steak reveal any other clues at all? There has to be. There has to be something. Your Excellency, please wait. This plate of beef is hiding another clue. Another clue that will reveal the shocking truth. The only thing that's shocking here is your unhealthy fascination with beef steak. I get it, it's one of the best dishes ever created, but God, man, there's nothing there. Your Excellency, I think I've made myself clear, haven't I? I will not be able to turn a blind eye to any more unnecessary procrastination in this trial.
I'm sorry, Miss Brett, but we must ensure a thorough examination of the evidence. I will not give a ruling until I'm completely satisfied. All reasonable doubt has been dispelled.
I see. As a newly affirmed ally of my country, that's still your position, is it? Thank you, Your Excellency.
Counsel for the defense! You will now clearly show the court as to what you are alluding. Where precisely on this plate of beefsteak is this new clue to be found?
Hold on. Oh god, I didn't mean to present that. Oh god, no! I didn't mean to present that. Oh god, I meant to look at the clue. Oh god,
You must do so knowing there's a penalty for mistakes.
oh god, I have one try left. I have one try. Oh god, I can't fail my first trial during this steak over and over until I find something to help me out. Okay. I need to find something. Okay, there has to be something different. Let's... Can I look at... Nope, it's only the history. So I feel like it has to be the bull. There's nothing else.
Got it!
What about the bull? I'm not understanding.
No, counsel, I'm afraid that won't do.
Oh god, no, my last chance! Oh god! No!
No reasonable doubt remains. Failed to refute adequately. Oh god,
no!
Accordingly, I hereby announce this court's final verdict. I find the defendant guilty.
Alright, bring me. Restrain the accused and send the telegraphic communication to Great Britain without further delay. Not be granted a right to appeal? Bro, that's inhumane. Alright. I go to jail for my first trial. Retry from this scene. Yes. What am I supposed to look at then? Is it like the actual biting of the steak? Because I accidentally clicked on the steak the first time. I clicked on... Oh shit, it just fills up all of my tries? That's insane. I don't know where it was eaten. Because like... There... I clicked on the bowl. I clicked on the steak. And those are the only... What? What was that? Is this just part of the bowl? Yeah, I think this is just part of the bowl. Or maybe not. Let's just go down here. Nope, that's not it. Okay. Actually, let's look at the court record real quick while I can. I want to look at how the steak looks. Bit up top, straight down, and then a bite out the bottom. Okay. Turn the steak over and there has to be something. Okay. Yeah, no, that looks about right. It goes like bite, straight down thing. But what am I supposed to... What am I looking at here? What's the new clue? I clicked on the steak before. I don't know. The bite, maybe? Sure.
Got it!
That's not it! What do you mean? I don't understand. Is there something I'm supposed to click on specifically? Because it's not the bullhead. Can I, like... I can't turn this at all. Or can I? Oh my god, I can! What the hell? I could have been turning this the whole goddamn time. Okay, well... let's see if I can see anything. Any bit of blood, maybe? What's this? That's a scratch. That's a scratch mark. The steak... Still looking pretty normal. Nothing, nothing too suspicious about it. Anything lengthwise? No. This has like a lip of some sort. What is this area? Can I just present that? Nope, still nothing. Okay. The answer's here somewhere. I don't know where. Is there anything on the back? This is not looking like anything. Oh god, I can't do this very well. I'm trying to get it in a certain position. Oh god. Okay. Because there should have been blood on the steak. Blood somewhere. I don't know. This, like, yellowish spot, maybe?
Got it!
Nope, that's not it either. Seriously, guys, I might be being dumb right now, but I genuinely have no clue what he could possibly be talking about. Like, is there something about the bowl that's strange? I can't click on anything over here. I can click on the edge of the steak, maybe. There's nothing on the back. The sides don't really have anything. This has a lip of some sort. I already tried clicking on this blank space. I clicked on the steak. Clicked on the front mark. I clicked on the bowl. I don't know. I have no idea. And that's the last one, so I'm going to jail again. Actually, can I just restart from this? Can I? No, I can't. I have to go through the whole thing? Okay. Time to spam spacebar, everybody. Yep, I'm guilty. Guilty as charged. I murdered him in cold blood. Ignore everything. Ignore all the poison talk. Ignore the fact that she destroyed the bottle in front of everyone. That was suspicious as hell. But nah, it's me. I'm the one. I'm the one who did it. Just because I was holding a gun when he was shot. Come on. Alright. Alright, so... God, there has to be something. There has to be something here. I don't know. Like the very edge? Like, is this his blood right here? Maybe? I'm just not, like, right here in front of me, there's only one thing to do. Turn the steak over and over until I find something. Turn the steak over and over. The steak over, like... I'm not seeing anything. There's nothing... Nothing on the back. What am I... It's like, I can't pull up the evidence again. I don't know. Maybe if I just do it long ways?
Got it!
Is that something? No? I'm literally just going to keep spamming R. Like, I'm just going to spam R until I hit something. Okay. So it wasn't right there. Is it right here? Is this it? Is that what you want me to see? No? That's not it? Okay. That's cool. Like, my memory was showing blood on the side. There's nothing on the side. The only thing I can think of is that, like, the bites are different. Maybe. Let's just hit R again. See if there's anything. Nope, nothing there. Oh boy, time to enjoy my jelly-filled donut. I love jelly-filled donuts. So full of rice and jelly. But tell me this, Chimbly. Is your frying pan a drying pan? I think that's the bigger question here. There's nothing here. What am I supposed to present? There's the bowl. There's the actual plate. Can I, like, interact with this at all in some way? I'll present this very edge of the plate. Is that it? It's not it. It's not it. No, my drying pan actually works as a frying pan, actually. That's pretty base, not gonna lie. Who would think that? A pan specifically made for drying. Wait, isn't a drying pan technically... Well, no, I guess that's a washing bin or something. I was going to say, isn't a... the same thing that the miners would use to, like, sift out gold and stuff? You're just using that as a frying pan? That's what I pictured when you said that. Alright, well, time to get back at it, I guess. You now clearly show the court what you're remembering. Okay. Well, I presented all of the edges of the steak. Can I, like, lift this up somehow? Can I can't find anything. Oh! Wait, I can just click on it? What?! Bro! I can lift the steak?! What in the world is this? I think it's a Koban coin, and the hallmark is from the Hoei era, I believe. What? First of all, there was no indication that I could do that ever. It was just like, turn the steak over and over. Okay, flipping the thing over and over. Did you say it was a Jose Koban? Yes, and apart from the meat juices, it looks to be in good condition. I imagine it's very valuable. This isn't the first time today there's been talk of a Hoei Koban. I've heard of the pearls before swine, but I've never heard of bullion in bullion. And I don't think you ever will again. This is extraordinary, though. This means... Man, what the fuck? That's huge! What? Why was the coin under there in the first place? It was like... How did she set up Dr. Wilson to die just so she could get her hands on the coin somehow? But then I'm not understanding. A Hoei era one at that. Miss Brett, this is in fact the beefsteak that you ordered on the restaurant on that day in question, is it? Tell me, why is there an old coin seemingly hidden underneath the meat? There's nothing there! A ridiculous question. How should I know? I'm the victim in this scenario, and my swan agrees. I've never seen that thing before in my life. I don't know what it is, but I want no part of it.
I fail to see how this is relevant to coin under the meat. That could simply have been a careless mistake by the chef in a moment of distraction.
You idiot! Don't be absurd! We're supposed to believe that this happened by accident in the kitchen. A rare Hoei Koban just happens to be underneath that piece of steak. If this turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll rip up my ticket to Great Britain right now. He's right, it can't be a coincidence. Your Excellency!
Yes, Counsel?
A rare Hoei Koban just happens to be underneath that piece of steak. If this turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll give up my lawyer job right now.
By all means, don't let us stop you. No one invited you anyway. You've been a lawyer for what? An hour, if that? Shut up! Perhaps, little boy, you should realize that it is you who is irrelevant.
Even though I'm the one on trial here? The point is, it's essential that we ask the owner of this coin if he can explain what it's doing under the steak.
The owner?
Yes, it's obvious. There's only one person it can belong to. The owner of the Koban that was found underneath the beefsteak is...
Curio!
That guy! Obviously, it can only be the antiques dealer and owner of Ratsute, Curio Korekuta-kun. Oh my god, I can't read. Curio Korekuta-san. His name is literally Curio. Curie as in Mr. Cumber something? Honestly, these ridiculous Japanese names are quite unfathomable.
Ah, yes. The old man who testified earlier alongside the military sergeant, correct?
Yes, Your Excellency. I remember him saying that he was up to something with his Koban coin when it happened. At exactly the moment the gun was fired. Oh, the gunshot interested me now. I was far too busy on the floor. Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing? Hunting for the treasure.
Oh, indeed! Hoei Koban, my prized coin!
Then this Hoei Koban, do you mean to tell me?
No! Don't listen to him!
Oh my god, he actually said no.
Please, why would Korekuta-san's Koban be sandwiched between the victim's beefsteak and its plate? It makes no sense!
Yeah, exactly. Which is why it's important we talk about it. Which is why I'm asking to bring Korekuta-san back to the witness stand, so we can ask him. Ooh! I need some water. Make sure you guys have some water too. It's been a bit. Since we started. Officer.
Bring both witnesses that testified earlier back in here. Without a moment's delay.
I can't believe we've come back round to that pair again. But I have a hunch, a strong hunch, that if we chase down the real significance of this Koban, we'll find that it's a key element in this case. Hello. How's your son? Still being annoying? That's cool. Still being an old man with dementia? That's cool. What's this all about? Why have I been called up again? Don't you realize that it's dinner time for little boy Ideal? When my son's belly is empty, he's fiercer than a pack of wolves. Explored by a believer, like be revived for the bare fall, and then cast from his corner. I became ruled by wordless will antique. Nothing more, the sun is set, Rasute shop.
Be that as it may, Korekuta-san, something may come to light that requires your clarification. As far as your Rasute memory serves, have you ever...
Ah! That's it! The one! The very one! The very exact one, that is! The resplendent, splendiferous Hoei treasure that my rusty bones managed to misplace that fateful day! It can't be!
As I thought,
Young man, enlighten this decrepit old fool. Put me out of my misery. Where was my treasure? Where was it dropped?
Oh, I'm not sure if it was dropped anywhere.
We found your coin sandwiched between a beefsteak and its plate, soaking in the seasoned meat's juices.
Sandwich? So? Seriously?
Clearly, it couldn't have fallen there by accident, which means somebody must have hidden it there on purpose.
Somebody got some hatred in slab metal plate. Who would do such a thing? Such an inconsiderate.
Oh.
Excuse me. Could I say something?
Yes, of course.
Proceed, Inspector Hosonaga.
I mentioned this earlier on in the trial, but I was working undercover in this restaurant in order to investigate another case. Ah, yes, that's right. The secret undercover operation. Le Carnival is a high-class Western cuisine restaurant. It attracts wealthy diners, including many foreigners. Recently, there's been a run of similarly executed thefts targeting the restaurant's rich clientele. A number of such incidents have been reported to the police bureau.
Wicked crimes indeed.
We wanted to nip the case in the bud quickly, especially with so many foreigners being affected.
So that's why you were sent in undercover, is it?
Yes, I took on the job of waiter at the restaurant in order to flush out the criminal. It seems likely that this Koban incident is the work of the same thief.
So unbeknownst to us, there was a master thief at work in the restaurant on a regular basis. The place was already the scene of several crimes, it seems.
I don't know about the master thief part, but the identity of the person who stole and hid Kurakuta-kan's Koban is all too clear.
What? What?
I think the court would like to hear the defense's view on the matter. Tell us, who is the despicable scoundrel that stole Kurokuta's Koban and put it under the steak?
I feel like it would, no. Well, I feel like that would be a huge twist if the professor did it. But it's probably Giselle. That's, because he wouldn't have done it. The sergeant had no clue. I doubt the waiter would do it because he seems kind of intent on saving it. So it has to either be the professor or Brett. I feel like Brett is a red herring. Did Brett frequent this restaurant? Because I know that Wilson did. So I feel like Wilson is the culprit. I'm just going to present it. I'm just going to do it. Yes. Seems like a likely candidate for a Koban thief.
No, come on, Ryunosuke.
Huh? You shocked me, Kazuma.
Not as much as you shocked me. No one could have approached the table unnoticed. Even if you're a crazy fool, you couldn't have missed that.
I'm not sure you should be calling Kurakuta-san a crazy fool, Kazuma.
It's you I was calling the crazy fool.
Ah, maybe I'm on the wrong track here. Okay, it's her. I was really hoping it would be like a huge twist and it was actually him, but nope. It's just Giselle. I mean, I assume it's Giselle anyway. It's either her or the waiter. Yes. Seems like what? It's not her either? So, if it's not them, man, he is really about to just fucking whack me with that sword, isn't he? I don't like that. Who's the despicable scoundrel? Would it... So if it wasn't the professor and it wasn't her, it wasn't Mikotoba, it wasn't Asogi, it wasn't the other Mikotoba, it wasn't Aochi, so that leaves these three. Was it Satoru? I'm sure the old man himself didn't do it. The sergeant? I feel like... let's just present the waiter, I guess. Is that him? Nope, it's not him. So if it's not him... It's the sergeant? Is that what I'm supposed to do here? The sergeant is like the last person, because I feel like the curio dude wouldn't have, he would have been pretty livid. He seemed pretty mad that it was underneath the stake.
Take that!
Oh, music stopped. Obviously, it can only be you. Sergeant Iesa Nosa.
Wah! How? How dare you? You monster!
Monster?
I stole that koban, did I? I'm the master thief of La Carnival, am I? You're seriously accusing me of these crimes, cadet? But it wasn't me! It was Ido! Ido's the mastermind behind all this!
Man, look at that baby. Looks guilty as all hell. That's why you can't trust any babies. You can't trust babies at all. You would push the blame of your crimes onto your own son, an innocent little baby? It's you who's the monster, Sergeant Nosa.
Ido, stop it! Ido! Ido, I didn't mean to blame you, son! Clippity-clap, clippity-clap, my back! Oh, God! Oh, God, son, that really hurt! Take it easy on Daddy, please!
Oh my God, they both saluted. That's awesome.
Nippon Imperial Army, Sergeant Ieyasu Nosa, prepared to stand down in the Supreme Court, sir.
Okay, what'd you do? Why'd you do it? Tell us. For what reason could you have done that? Yes, push down the baby. Explain.
Do any of you know of the extraordinarily low wages the Nippon Imperial Army pays those it expects to keep our country safe? I understand that the temporary increase in taxation owing to the recently ended conflicts remains in place. And I have heard it's hard for lower-ranking soldiers to make a living, yes. All I want is to put a hot meal on the table for my son. That or throw him in jail, one of the two options.
That's why you were stealing things at the restaurant?
The place is heaving with money. Every 3 days I'd go there and do reconnaissance for a target. And I'd enjoy chomping my way through a good steak at the same time.
It sounds like he doesn't bother with a knife and fork even, which is worryingly believable.
And your target that day was the old man in his koban. Yes, sir. He was an easy mark. I slipped the coin into my pocket without any trouble at all.
A veritable phantom thief you are.
It was all set to leave the stake. I was halfway through devouring when it happened. Bang! The shot rang out. I heard it. I looked over.
Yeah, when the professor was shot.
I knew that if the police conducted a search and found the coin in my pocket, I'd be finished. Ido too. So I hid the incriminating evidence as fast as I could, on the double. I slipped it under the stake, hoping that I'd be able to rendezvous with it again at a later date.
Oh.
Silence. This is ridiculous. Perhaps you could carry on with this absurd prattling in your own time. Well, Miss Brett?
Oh, of course, dear lady, of course. How rude of us. I'm quite sure there's no need to detain you any longer at all. T-pose on 'em, boys. This trial is over. May the esteemed gentlewoman please be excused, Your Excellency. I said please.
Indeed, if after the koban was clearly perpetrated by this baby-saddled sergeant, it would certainly appear to be unrelated to Dr. Wilson's murder.
Of course it is. Hiding a coin under a lump of meat. The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me.
Nonsense, is it?
Ooh.
And as for the picking up your steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork, it's beyond nonsense. It's pure madness.
Very well. Now that all questions concerning his witness's testimony have been answered, I see no further justification for detaining her. Miss Brett, you are free to leave.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Good luck, everyone.
No!
And good day.
No! Object, Ryunosuke! Don't let her leave!
That face! That blank expression! He's thinking.
Ryunosuke, what's the matter with you? This is no time for daydreaming. Oh, no, it's just... something about Miss Brett's parting word there got me thinking. I can't quite work out what exactly, but something she said jarred with me. I feel like there was a contradiction in there something. Something didn't quite add up. If that's the case, don't just stand there thinking. Make your voice heard. Sorry? You can think later, but if you don't call out now, it'll be too late. The trial will be over.
Hold it!
Hold it! Wait, Miss Brett.
What is it now?
I'm afraid just one last time. There's something I'd like to ask you. I'd like you to explain the contradiction in your parting words from just a few moments ago.
What are you talking about? What contradiction?
Objection!
There's nothing here! What new nonsense is this?
Well, what parting words are you talking about, Ryunosuke?
Hiding a coin under a lump of meat. The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me.
It's that one. As for picking up your steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork. It is beyond nonsense. It's pure madness. It's that. It's that. It's the steak. Yes, I'm right. What she said there exposed an undeniable contradiction.
I'm going to need to see evidence, counsel. If Miss Brett's words truly are contradictory, where is the evidence to prove it?
He couldn't have eaten it because he couldn't have done it like that because of his teeth? Yeah.
Take that!
He couldn't have done it because of his teeth. This is the evidence right here. Well,
Miss Brett?
This attempt to incriminate me is as brutish as the sergeant's eating habits.
Yes, I'm inclined to agree.
ah, no, my heart, my token. Gentlemanly habits. Okay. Well, it wasn't that he couldn't eat it. What parting words were you talking about? Okay, hiding a coin under a lump of meat. Nonsense. Okay, that's not the important part. And as for picking up your steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork, it's beyond nonsense. Can I present the actual, like, steak? Because it looked like it was just fucking bitten into. Where's the evidence? Yeah, it looks like it was bitten into and then cut. It's like those are just clearly two mouth imprints and then a straight line. Can I present the steak again? Nope, that's not it. Can I just present the steak again?
The steak that Miss Brett had been eating before the professor was killed. Yes, go on.
More accurately, Your Excellency, the steak that was on the victim's table just before the professor was killed.
Now that you're just splitting hairs.
Not true. Doesn't something about this steak strike you as very unnatural?
Unnatural? What on earth do you mean?
It's extremely obvious. I'm talking about the shape of the edge where it's been eaten. I see you've noticed it too, Miss Brett.
Noticed what exactly, counsel?
Just a few moments ago, Miss Brett claimed no Englishman could even contemplate picking up a steak and biting into it without using of a knife and fork.
Of course she did. She's a refined English gentlewoman herself. She would know. First-hand experience and all that.
Well, take a good look at this steak, in particular the edge where it's been eaten. Two massive jawlines, clearly defined barbaric teeth marks there.
Oh!
It looks like Miss Brett has realized something. So, if the witness, as she claims, wouldn't contemplate eating anything without a knife and fork, there shouldn't be teeth marks in the steak at all.
No, but what is your actual point? Perhaps the delightful Miss Brett was ravenously hungry. Whatever you say, dear lady, I'll stop my train of thought in its tracks.
As I said, I really must be leaving now. Afternoon tea with the Minister of Justice cannot possibly wait any longer. Of course, of course. This will all be over in a blink of an eye. Rest assured, I'm about to put this rookie in his place. Oh! I've heard enough, you irritating little spectacled samurai relic. Of course. Dear lady! What's the matter, Miss Brett? Have we ruffled your feathers? Or more accurately, your swan's feathers? Clearly, the witness knows what this means. She's realized the catastrophic implication those teeth marks have on the stake for her. I butchered that sentence so awfully. Ryunosuke, do you know where you're going with this? Yes. Now at last, it's all come together. The mysterious teeth marks in the steak that had allegedly been eaten with cutlery. The reason why the bloodstain I know I saw somehow seems to have disappeared. They swapped dishes! And most importantly, the evidence that proves once and for all who shot Dr. Wilson that day.
I accept that these teeth marks in the steak are a little unnatural, as you put it, counsel. But what exactly are you suggesting that tells us?
Everything, Your Excellency.
Everything?
Yes, I believe that these barbaric teeth marks in the steak here amount to conclusive evidence in this case. Evidence that will prove beyond any doubt who shot Dr. Wilson. You have nothing! Conclusive evidence? How many times have I heard that today? You wouldn't know the meaning of the phrase typical Japanese empty threats.
How could you be so sure?
Oh, it's quite simple. If you really had such conclusive evidence, you would have presented it to the court long ago. Actually, the evidence I'm talking about hasn't been brought to the court yet.
Hasn't been what?
Just because it hasn't been shown yet, doesn't mean that the evidence does not exist.
What are you talking about? This is absurd. The trial has run several hours already, and you say there's evidence yet to be brought forward? There can't be. I don't believe you have it.
I don't, but there's someone who does have it. Someone in this very courtroom. Huh. And if that person is willing to submit the piece of evidence I'm referring to, it will solve every remaining mystery about this case.
Very well. I have a feeling this will be my last request of the defense in this trial. Who possesses the conclusive evidence?
Well, it's the waiter, because he took all the evidence and didn't share it with anyone. None of us knew he had anything. The waiter! The answer is obvious. The Inspector Hosonaga.
What? I have it?
Yes.
You think I've been withholding conclusive evidence? That's ridiculous.
No, I'm not saying that. Everyone's attention has been focused on this steak with the teeth marks.
Yes?
Now, earlier this afternoon, Sergeant Nosa told the court the following. I'd enjoy chomping my way through a good steak. And as well as admitting to stealing Korokuta-san's coin, he told us he slipped it under the steak.
You watch it, cadet! I'm a superior officer!
Sergeant Nosa, could you please confirm something for me? Was the steak that you put the coin under, in fact, your own steak?
Attention! Affirmative, of course! I might be a soldier in the Imperial Nippon Army, but still. I'm not brave enough to ask a foreign gentle lady if she'd mind me manhandling her meat to hide something in it.
In other words, the steak that the detective submitted as evidence earlier was in fact Sergeant Nosa's meal.
No! But that makes no sense! That plate was taken from the victim's table.
No? Yet the gentlewoman doesn't take bites out of her steak, nor did she have any opportunity to steal the coin. Of course I didn't steal it. To even suggest a thing would be an affront to the entire British Empire.
Well then, how do you explain this paradox?
Exactly! Surely you're not going to suggest that the sergeant swished the two steaks over.
Yeah, that's actually what I was going to say.
Huh.
Why is everyone silent? What, you did switch them?
Well, after it happened,
Bang! After the bang happened, when I saw the civilian had been murdered right in front of my eyes like that, I panicked. As I said, I immediately lifted my stake and hid the coin underneath it. But then, when the waiter announced he was an undercover policeman, I thought I'd had it. If he decided to investigate my slab of meat, that'd be it. I'd be getting my marching orders. So when the cadet here was arrested and taken out to the kitchen, I seized my chance. Down, boy. Down, Ido. Get back on my back. With military precision and timing, I switched my stake with the one on the foreign lady's table. What? You can't have. I never saw you do such a thing. It was called Operation Lightning Bolt. There was no time for strategic planning. It was do or die, I tell you. So yes, I did what had to be done. Isn't that right, Ido?
Unbelievable!
The plates switched. However, fear not, Prosecutor, sir.
What now?
I swear on the brass buttons of my uniform, that is all I did, sir.
All you did? That's plenty, Sergeant.
Yes. Yes, it is. So, if Sergeant Nosa switched the plates over, it means he took Miss Brett's stake and the plate it was on back to his own table.
Yes, that follows.
Inspector Hosanaga,
Yes?
early in this trial, you told the court this. You said that you had not only taken Miss Brett's stake after the incident, but also the sergeant's. That to preserve evidence, you had taken both. That's correct. Then please present it to the court now. Hooah! The plate that was actually on the victim's table at the precise moment she was shot.
No! What can that possibly tell us now? I mean, a cold slab of tough meat? It can't have the slightest bearing on this case.
Objection!
So you say. You're not wriggling your way out of it this time, lady.
I beg your pardon?
Surely you're not that forgetful. Surely you remember the reason why this steak pan promises to prove such a problem for you, no?
You're the ones who decided it was a problem, not me.
The reason the defense asked to see that plate was to confirm something the defendant remembers seeing.
Thinks he remembers.
I'm quite sure of what I saw, Miss Brett. On the side of the plate that was on the table directly behind Dr. Wilson, there was a clear splattering of blood from the gunshot wound from the victim's chest. I believe the defendant's memory serves him well. And now we have the evidence to prove it. The plate you were eating from, Miss Brett.
Let us not prolong this any further. Inspector, you will show the evidence to the court. Present the beefsteak and the plate that was originally on the victim's table at the time of the incident.
Of course. Yes, sir. Sorry for keeping you. I had to run all the way back to my apartment. It was actually 3 miles away. I'm surprised I made it in such good time. Here's the other order of steak and its plate. Please feel free to examine it. I'm not seeing anything, are you? Do you guys see anything?
The bloodstain, it's clearly visible. Look! Yes. Now this makes everything clear. The blood you can see on the side of the plate shows that at the moment the victim was shot, he was facing the table with his back to me.
In other words, it's impossible for Naruhodo-san to have shot the victim.
It can't be.
In fact, there's only one person who could possibly have shot Dr. Wilson from the front. I'm sure everyone knows by now who that person is. That's right. Miss Giselle Brett. It's you!
Outdone by a Japanese? Me? By a Japanese schoolboy? No! Squaw!
Yeah. Swan's going crazy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, fuck her up, Swan.
Yeah!
I'm not going to try and scream. I'm just not going to do it. Were those ducklings popping out? Oh my god, they are. Tiny little ducks popping out. That's awesome. She's ascending. She's ascending to heaven because of that. Oh, look at them. Can we adopt them? He can have that one, I guess. The judge can have those too. Alright. What do you have to say for yourself? Please excuse my little outburst. I briefly lost my composure, you see. Most unbecoming behavior for an English gentlewoman. Forgive me.
Well, Miss Brett, I think it's time you told the court what actually happened that day. The truth this time.
Gladly, Your Excellency.
Don't fucking weasel your way out of this one, you punk. It is I who took the professor's life using curare. Oh my god, she's confessing. I thought she was going to keep that to the very end. Not, yeah. Oh my god, that's awesome. I keep saying that's awesome. Man, change my vocabulary. Jesus. As you surmised, I chose that particular day for one very important reason. The professor had a dental appointment for the extraction of one of his teeth in the morning.
So you planned to kill the professor, knowing that no trace of poison would be found in his water. Because curare is unheard of here in Japan.
Yes. Of course, I never intended to remain at the restaurant for as long as I did. I only needed to see the professor take one tiny sip of his water, and it would all be over. I would place the steak I had ordered in front of him to make it appear as though he had been dining alone, and leave immediately. However, before any of that happened, there was an unexpected visitor at the professor's table. That would be me, I suppose? Yes, you. Who else? Such a trifling matter, but the fact you decided to come over to greet the professor meant that I had lost my chance to slip away unnoticed. In due course, the professor took a sip of his water and was paralyzed. I made sure he was sitting in his chair such that he wouldn't fall. There was no going back at that point, so I concocted a plan on the spur of the moment.
A plan to pin Dr. Wilson's murder on this innocent man.
I happened to know that the professor actually always carried a gun. I decided to use that fact to my advantage. I had the bottle of curare in my handbag and my own pistol concealed under my own skirt.
Under your skirt? You had a gun? I said you couldn't have had a gun. What do you mean you had a gun?
So I was right, there were 2 guns. Yes. And then I finished my coffee and got up to leave. That's when I noticed the professor's gun, which you had presumably placed on the floor. A place where you were sure I would notice it. And everything went according to plan. You noticed the gun as I intended. You also picked it up for some reason. I still don't know why you would pick up a gun that was just chilling on the floor, but some guys are just idiots, I suppose. Bang! Shot him. Shot him right when you picked it up. That's when you shot the professor with your own gun. Even though at that point he was already dead. Naturally, the gunshot caused a commotion, at which point the waiter appeared. Obviously, I assumed Naruhodo-san was the culprit and apprehended him. I took him to the pantry that adjoins the kitchen and locked him inside. That's when I took the opportunity to turn the professor in his chair around.
Because, of course, you needed to make it look like the defendant had shot Dr. Wilson from where he'd picked up the gun.
Ooh, anything to say? I mean, you already confessed, so you're pretty much out of luck now. I'm a free man. Oh yeah? Anything? So there you have it. That is the entirety of my misdemeanor.
Ah!
Oh,
Your Excellency,
yes?
I wonder, might I speak with you in private later?
I shall call on you. I sure hope you don't murder me like you murdered that guy.
Thank you. Good day then, everyone. I hope you can forgive me, Naruhodo-san. No, not really. You almost just kind of like put me away for life. Oh shit, she just got Thanos snapped. She's gone. Okay, well, shit, I guess if that's what happens when you're found guilty. I mean, now that I think about it, when I was found guilty, I suppose that is what would have happened. I would have faded from existence because I loaded the save.
It would seem this trial has finally run its course. I presume the prosecution is in agreement.
This can't be! Takatsuchi Aochi does not lose! He simps! He simply simps! That's not to the likes of this rookie student! How long have you been practicing law for? All of 3 hours?
Yeah, that's right, actually.
I've been practicing for 3 days! That's like so much more time than you!
You'd better start getting used to tough opposition.
Ah! Ryunosuke Naruhodo!
Yeah?
This insult to the Aochi family name will never be forgotten! Yeah, forgotten. Forgiven either, that too.
You've become conceited with age, Council, but the old have to stand aside and make way for the new. It's the way of the world. May you never forget that! Man, he is ready to just cut Aochi down, isn't he? He's ready to draw that sword. Oh my god, he actually drew it. Oh, you don't deserve your bun! You're a disgrace upon your family. Disgrace upon you, your family, your cow. Bam! 1,000 millennia may pass, and still, the Aochi clan will never measure up to the Naruhodo clan. You tell him, Kazuma, you tell him.
This trial in the Supreme Court of Japan will, I believe, go down in history as the start of a new chapter in our country's judicial system. Despite being summoned as the accused, you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, presented an excellent case.
I thank you, Your Excellency.
The use of evidence and deduction to unravel the truth is a modern methodology, I should say. After all, it has only been a few short decades since our country opened its doors to the wider world. But the Western idea of science are rapidly gaining acceptance here. Seriously, what the actual hell is an atom? I still don't know. Anyways, I feel sure that science will soon bring new methods of investigation and new procedures of justice. A new future of law awaits, but what it will look like, I cannot begin to imagine. That is for the young to pursue. I'm too old for this shit. Kazuma Asogi. Yes. After this trial, you are set to embark on a journey of discovery to the illustrious British Empire. Learn all that you can. Observe everything of the wider world that you are able to. And do not forget to fulfill the mission imposed on you. Humu. I understand, Your Excellency.
What was that about? Why do you look so grave all of a sudden?
Never mind. As for you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Yes.
In you, I sense, how can I put it? Unusual potential. Maybe a bit of dumbassery, but potential all the same. I very much look forward to seeing how you carry that onwards.
Thank you, Your Excellency. There I am, in all my glory.
It is time to deliver the final verdict. I hereby find the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, not guilty!
Hell yeah! We made it, boys. Proved my innocence. First trial, complete. Look at all those sakura blossoms falling. Such a picturesque scene.
This court is now adjourned. You may leave. Actually, get the hell out of here. I don't want to see any of your faces for a while. I've been staring at them for way too long.
22nd November, 246. Supreme Court of Judicature. Defendant's Antechamber 5. I can't believe it. I can't believe what's happened. I made it. I defended myself, and I made it through that horrendous trial.
Ryunosuke, you finally pulled it off. Congratulations. Me and my bandana are proud of you.
Well, I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you, Kazuma. Ha 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 ha! No, it was a pleasure to watch you at work. So, you owe me an extra large sukiyaki from the place on Yume University Street. Don't forget! Good afternoon. All your hard work has certainly paid off. Oh, it's her. Congratulations to both of you for proving Naruhodo-san's innocence. Ah, our trusty judicial assistant. You worked hard for that result too, you know. Oh no, I didn't do anything. Oh, thank you very much. If we hadn't had that research report with Miss Brett's, I don't know how things would have turned out. I probably would have wound up guilty probably another 30 times before I figured out the sequence of events to use. Your kind words should really be for my father. I was simply doing as he asked. It was his idea for me to go to university and investigate. Your father? Ah, right, of course. Forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency. Susato Mikotoba, judicial assistant to the defense. Speaking of Mikotoba...
Ah, there you are. I believe congratulations are in order. Naruhodo, you did an excellent job.
Thank you, Professor.
Oh no, it is I who should be thanking you. After all, your efforts exposed the true criminal that took the life of my good friend.
Good friend? Yeah, you mentioned that before. It was you who actually invited Dr. Wilson to Yume University, wasn't it?
Yes, that's right. Professor Mikotoba studied overseas himself. He went to study forensic medicine in Great Britain.
Man, look at those bots. They sure do just be posting, don't they?
Presumably, that's when you met Dr. Wilson. Exactly. In those days, we worked hard in the same hospital.
Oh, you worked together?
I've never heard you mention that before. Well, it was a long time ago now. Besides, it's your turn, Asogi.
Oh.
Great Britain is a magnificent country. It leads the world in science, medicine, engineering, culture, and of course, in law. Watch and learn, my boy. See what's happening in the world's largest melting pot.
I will.
I will learn all that I can. I swear on this, the spirit of the Asogi clan.
You're not taking that sword to Great Britain, are you? I'm not sure that's allowed there, or on a plane. Wait, do we have planes? Someone wait, guys, do we have planes? Do we have trains? I know we have trains. Do we have planes? Someone, tell me!
A Japanese man's katana is his soul. This blade shows me where I need to go.
Ah. You're as chuny as your bandana is flowing, Kazuma.
That's alright. And cuts down anything that's in my way.
Yeah, I've definitely seen how sharp it is already with my own eyes.
That reminds me, what's happened to the woman? To Giselle Brett, I mean. After all, she's guilty of murder. Ah, yes, her. It's not easy to tell you this, but...
What do you mean? Surely she's going to face trial herself now. She's the true culprit, after all.
She will be leaving Japan in the very near future, for Shanghai.
What? Shanghai?
Giselle Brett will not appear in court again in this country. I'm certain of that.
Man, I somehow transformed this dude into a country. You know what? I'll just keep it. Country old man voice. What? But why not? It's a matter of consular jurisdiction. Oh, it's him. Inspector Hosonaga!
It was a hard-fought battle in the courtroom today. Very impressive to watch. I must congratulate...
What? But what's this all about this consular jurisdiction? I don't even know what consular means.
We cannot try this particular foreigner for her crimes here in Japan.
What? We can't try her? But then who? Who's gonna bring her to justice?
A British consular court will hear her case, somewhere far away, where our voices can't be heard.
But why a consular court?
Professor, I simply don't understand. I thought consular courts were a thing of the past now that we've signed the friendship treaty.
Yes, in normal circumstances, you're right. So long as this is not a serious incident of a highly political nature to our respective governments, they can't invoke a consular court just like that. Oh, can't they? Yes, she's a student, but it doesn't justify our government making secret agreements about her fate, does it? Something strange is going on. So Miss Brett can't be held accountable for actions here in Japan. Temporary insanity, I understand. I'm afraid that for the young student, today's trial was nothing more than a game all along. There was never any danger of comeuppance for her. I don't believe it. She framed me, she was gonna put me away in jail forever, and she has nothing done to her?
The British government's Foreign Affairs Ministry has demanded that we hand over custody of Miss Brett. They're obviously taking this case of a foreign student committing murder very seriously.
But it's all going to change from now on. We can make it change. This is a time of great turmoil, this new era heralded by the start of the 20th century. One day, I have no doubt, that woman will receive the judgment she deserves. It'll probably be the final mission of the game, not gonna lie. Yes, change is coming, and we're the ones driving it. Well, I think that's enough seriousness for now. This evening calls for a celebratory drink. But, Professor, you're right. This is no time for gloomy faces. We should be celebrating Ryunosuke's not guilty verdict. Let's start having some fun. Let's get totally turnt, as they say.
In that case, might I suggest La Carnival? There's no more thievery, I promise. The sergeant, after all, is on a no-go list. He can no longer come back. And, well, Miss Brett won't be murdering anyone else because she's not here. So really, all of the problems are gone. And I was recently fired for hiding too much evidence. So now I actually am a waiter at La Carnival. As the head waiter, I should be delighted to provide you with ample food and drink.
You're a detective, Hosonaga-san, aren't you?
Let's not worry about details for now. To La Carnival, will you accompany us, Professor?
Of course, La Carnival's food is second to none.
I shall go and attend to the paperwork for Naruhodo-san's release.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Oh, and then she's gone. She disappeared quite quick. So Giselle Brett won't be tried here. I suppose that means I'll never know. I'll never know why she found out. Oh my god, I just completely read that backwards. I'll never find out why she killed Dr. Wilson. Kazuma. Yes, Ryunosuke? I just wanted to say thanks again. That's all. You really saved my skin today. Ha 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 ha! I didn't do a thing! You were the lawyer in there, weren't you? That defense was all your own work, except for all the parts where I pointed out you were wrong, and to think about it more. Your skills made the difference, though. One day, I bet you'll be the best lawyer in the world. I'm not so sure about that. What? What do you mean? To be honest, something kept occurring to me over and over again during that trial. I couldn't help thinking that maybe you're the one destined to become a great lawyer, not me. What? Come on, be serious. If I helped you today, it was only right at the start of the trial. But you have a natural talent for it. For being a defense lawyer, I mean. Oh no, not me. All that tense verbal combat? I never want to go through any of that again. I did what you told me to do, that's all. Because I knew I could trust you. That's the point. Sorry? What do you mean, that's the point? Listen, Ryunosuke. Do you know what the most crucial weapon is that any lawyer needs in order to win? Knowledge of the law? No. The ability to believe. To believe? To believe what? A defense lawyer has to fight for his clients. He has to believe in them at all times. Like you believed in me when I said I didn't do it. I'm human, just like you. I don't have some superhuman ability to know the truth. Although I do have a supernatural ability to control the wind, as evidenced by my glorious bandana flow. But you have to make a choice about what to believe in, and stick to it when you're defending someone. Sometimes in the courtroom, you can really be backed into a corner. But being able to remain faithful to what you chose to believe in even then, well, that's not something that anyone can do. It takes a special kind of person. Believing in your client. I see. Just look at today's trial. I'm a student lawyer with precious little real experience, but you never stopped believing in me. Well, You faced seemingly hopeless situations time and again, but you never stopped looking for the truth. And in the end, you found it, through your own efforts, and because you never stopped believing in me. Thanks, Kazuma. I appreciate that. There's something I want to ask you, actually, Ryunosuke. Is he gonna give us his ticket? Well, it's a favor, really. Something very important to me. It sounds serious. What is it?
Ah, you're still here, are you?
Oh, Inspector Hosonaga.
I've arranged some rickshaws for us. Let's go.
Thank you. We'll be right there.
I'll be off.
Let's pick up this conversation again later. We should be celebrating right now. Your first court victory. And your study tour to Great Britain. Don't forget. Oh, no. And your great study tour to Great Britain. You're going, Kazuma. Ah, yes. That too. Look at him. He has no idea I'm going to make him go. Hey, Power. How you doing? You get off work? How was work today? So my very first trial came to an end. Kazuma. Professor Mikotoba. Susato-san, who acted as my assistant. Inspector Hosonaga, who didn't really play much of a part, but still. Yeah, he really just held evidence. If we had all of the evidence at once, we probably would have been able to do something, not gonna lie. It was because of the help and support of all these people that I managed to get through that trial. But more importantly, Kazuma hadn't yet managed to ask his favor of me. Little did I realize just how much it would change my life. He's gonna ask him to go to Great Britain. Come on, man. Who doesn't want to go to Great Britain? Who doesn't want to drink tea? Achievement. Defense debut. Save your current progress. Don't mind if I do. Yeah, might as well just save it in that one. End of chapter 1, beginning of chapter 2. Let's... Oh, no. I just have to press back. Oh. Oh, okay. So, that was The Great Departure, and episode 2. The Adventure of the Unbreakable Speckled Band? Unbreakable Speckled Band. Like a wristband? Or like, is that the name of a band? If that's the name of a band, I feel like that band would probably play ska or something. I have no idea what ska sounds like, because I've only heard it in Undertale, but I feel like that's what it would sound like.
In a corner of that small, dark room,
Narration.
Sholmes and I.
Oh! Are we going to be introduced to this,
They came from the ventilator.
this Sherlock Holmes? Or no, it's,
growl-like sound.
Herlock Sholmes. They switched the
Suddenly,
first,
Sholmes sprang
part of his
into
name.
action, lashing furiously with his cane at a point in the darkness.
Okay.
You see it, Wilson? He yelled, his tense voice reverberating through the air.
Who's Wilson?
I raised my
Oh,
dark lantern
wait.
shutter, and the room slowly came into view.
Watson Wilson?
Sholmes was staring
Okay, I guess that makes
intently
sense.
at one particular corner when he started whispering to
I
me.
heard Wilson and all thoughts left my brain. I was
victim's
like, what
most
was
perplexing
Sherlock
final
Holmes'
words.
best friend's name?
The
I can't remember.
speckled band.
It's Watson. Watson.
I believe
How did I
this
forget that?
is
Ame's
the
name is
terrible
Watson.
coil to which you referred, Wilson. In front of us was an enormous adder, its fangs bared as it threatened to strike.
So, is
It truly
he...
was the most terrible
Is he actually a
speckled
detective?
band I had ever seen.
Oh, the speckled band is the snake. Okay. Well, that's the intro for this one. 9th January, 6:37 a.m. On board the steamship Buria. Buria! Booyah! Oh my god, an animation.
So,
Oh my
let us
god.
unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder.
Who is he?
Do excuse me. The cabin door was bolted from the inside when the man was killed. No marks to suggest the bolt was tampered with in any way. So, this would appear to be a locked room mystery. In his final moments, the victim scrawled a message on the floor.
I have no idea what that means. It's probably upside down.
The ink from this upset bottle.
Most likely, it's the same color. Come on, Sholmes.
He was a Russian man then.
Oh, that's
Letters
Russian.
were
Okay.
Suggesting he was compos mentis at the time.
Compos mentis? Does that mean
Most
sane of mind?
extraordinary script.
I think that means sane of mind.
Not penned by the same hand as this message.
Man.
In fact, I deduce it was written by someone of a different nationality.
It wasn't him? Oh no, wait, the banner wasn't him.
This paper seal was placed just prior to the incident by the victim himself, I would venture.
What the fuck?
Well,
This dude...
what have we here?
This dude just has predator goggles. He legitimately just has predator goggles.
What do you think you're doing here?
Da! No one must touch before
Oh.
maritime police come. We must wait.
Oh no. Oh no. Those Russian accents.
From now, I will reveal the killer to you.
You see, he's hiding in this very wardrobe.
This is murder. And in cabin locked from inside.
Okay.
Yes, the locked room. But that mystery is paper thin.
You see, we haven't searched everywhere in the room.
You don't mean the culprit is in there?
Oh wow, she sounds
are you? And
way more British than I thought she did. I thought she was
British
Japanese.
consultant detective, the only one in the world.
The only
Herlock.
Sherlock Sholmes.
I presume you must have heard of me.
Nope, not at all. Hello. It wasn't me in there, right? Am I being accused for murder again? I really hope not. Oh no. Ryunosuke, what the hell is up with you, dude? Are you in the goddamn thing? What's going on? Something's not right here. There's trouble in the air. Is it me? Am I the one in the closet? Oh my god, how are you? Wait, I can't move. Ah, what the? Why am I in handcuffs? So, you wake up now, Oh, this is the...
We had to drag you out of the wardrobe. I do not believe how you could not wake up. You are a true cold-blooded man.
You found me then.
Da, we found you. And now you pay, criminal. How long are you hiding in that tiny wardrobe,
Sorry.
Now you have been found. It is time to admit your crimes. Unless you want to find out how cold the ocean is,
No, I'll tell you everything. There's only one thing I'd like to know from you. Isn't that... Oh! Hi. Why did you do it? Why did you take his life? Miss Susato. Wait, what did you just say? Take his life? Where is he? No! No! Kazuma! Oh my god, it was Kazuma who died? Oh, fuck, bro. His headband was so magnificent. No, Susato, please. No, it wasn't.
Ha! You pretend you do not know? You are wolf in the sheep's pelt. You are the killer. Do not try to make excuses.
What? Kazuma-sama's body was discovered not long ago. Here, in this very cabin that was bolted shut from the inside. His body?
Please, do not try to tell us you were doing this terrible thing in your sleep.
Kazuma's dead? But he can't be. And these handcuffs. Surely you don't think that I have to know. Why did you take Kazuma-sama's life? Answer me, please! Oh, no. No, this is... No! This can't be happening! Oh... Kazuma... It was just 2 short weeks ago. Are you sure about this? Won't we get in trouble?
Ha 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 ha! Don't you find it fun being a stowaway? Besides, how else could you come to England with me to study? It was really something else when they brought...
Oh, it was really something else when they brought your luggage in here earlier, though. The way that Russian crewmate just tossed your traveling case onto the floor. I thought I was gonna die! Like you do!
Yes, I still can't quite believe that. I really didn't think you'd be able to fit inside my trunk. You must be even less than a man than you look.
Hey... Honestly, I thought I'd broken every bone in my body.
Well, it's about 50 days till we dock in Great Britain. But if you confine yourself to my into my cabin here, I don't expect anyone will discover you.
I hope not. I get the feeling those Russians wouldn't be very forgiving of a stowaway. Very forgiving of a stowaway? God, talk.
I need some water. Throat is dry.
God.
They're a sturdy bunch, that's for sure.
What I want to know is, why do we need to keep it a secret from the young lady?
From our faithful judicial assistant, Mikotaba, you mean?
From your close friend, more to the point. Surely we could confide in her, couldn't we? I don't believe she'd give me away.
No, but if she knew what we'd done, that would make her guilty by association. It's best that only you and I know about this.
I guess so.
Anyway, it's about the time that the steward is supposed to come and clean the cabin. I know it's cramped, but you'd better get in there, I think. It won't be for long. And anyway, compared to hiding inside my traveling case, it'll be a breeze.
Yeah, but what if the steward decides to open the wardrobe for some reason? Then they'll be in for it.
Stop worrying. I tell you what. Why don't you write "keep out" or something on this piece of paper?
What?
Then I can stick it over the wardrobe doors when you're inside.
I don't know. We've only been at sea for about 15 days. How can this have happened? We were supposed to be going on this adventure to England. Together!
We'll leave you at next port. Stay quiet until then. Don't make more trouble for yourself. Murderer!
No, I'm not a murderer!
Da! You said before. You said you admit everything about their crimes.
No, that's not right. I mean, yes, I did stow away on the ship, but murdering my best friend?
No one else could have done it. Admit the truth.
What about that vent up there, bro? You see that? See that fucking vent? Think that has something to do with it? Susato-san. Please, tell me what happened. I need to know. Very well. But there is something I would like to ask of you too. Those eyes. She looks like she's ready to destroy me. This nightmare is getting worse by the minute. I suppose all I can do is try to find out what really happened. What happened? I need to know. He's really been killed, hasn't he? This isn't just a bad dream? And these handcuffs, they think I did it? They think I'm Kazuma's killer? When they found him, the cabin was locked from the inside. What do you mean? There's no access to the cabin via porthole window, and the bolt on the door can't be operated from outside. In other words, after the crime, the culprit couldn't have escaped these four walls. What? Or to put it another way, the culprit can only have been somebody inside this cabin. Or do you have some other explanation? This is impossible. How did he die then? What exactly happened? Are you still going to deny the charge? Even despite the circumstances? Please, Susato-san, you have to tell me. Come on. Please. The cause of death is still undetermined. They don't know how he died? The ship's doctor is examining the body, but of course he has no post-mortem analysis experience. I don't suppose we shall learn more until an expert has been consulted at our next port of call. So, presumably that means there were no obvious external signs of injury then. That's true, yes. About the incident. Can't anyone tell me what actually happened here in this cabin? I don't understand it! Why would anyone want to kill Kazuma? Presumably, that's something you know the answer to better than anyone. Please. Whatever you say, you were here in the cabin after all. Well, yeah, I was, but it wasn't me. He would always wake before dawn and do his training first thing in the morning. I was waiting outside his cabin, as I have every day so far on his voyage. But this morning, he did not come. I could sense that he wouldn't. Does that mean he was already dead when Susato-san arrived at his cabin door? I knocked, but there was no reply. When I started to become worried, so I went to find a member of the crew. The crewman forced the cabin door open, and we managed to get inside. There was Kazuma-sama, collapsed on the floor. Well... So... Wait. Kazuma's Japanese. Why the fuck is that message in Russian? I mean, one of the sailors had to have written it, but why? The white tape there shows exactly where he was found. I have no idea anything had happened. I must have been asleep in the wardrobe somehow. I wish it wasn't the case, but that's just very hard to believe. This is all very hard for me to believe too, trust me. Now I've told you everything that I know, so it's my turn to ask you a question. Yeah, alright. My head feels so heavy. It's still throbbing like anything. Doing those voices sure do put some strain on my voice. Why are you even aboard this ship, Naruhodo-san? You said something before about being a stowaway, didn't you? Oh, yeah, I'm afraid that's true. It's 2 weeks since we left Japan now, and I've been shut up in this cabin the entire time. I had no idea. But how could you have occupied Kazuma-sama's cabin for so long without him No, that's impossible, obviously. He knew. Yes, of course. Kazuma invited me. He wanted us to go to England together. He actually asked you? But why? I'm afraid I don't really know the answer myself. I don't understand. Kazuma, why do you want this? What's the real reason? Why go to such extreme lengths to smuggle me to England with you? It's an idea that's been on my mind ever since the end of that incredible trial. I think I told you then, didn't I, that you ought to become a lawyer yourself. Well, yes, you did say that, but I didn't think you were serious. You have a talent for it. I can assure you of that. But I've never really thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, that's something you can decide for yourself. London is at the spearhead of cultural development, the center of the world in many ways. There can't be any harm in seeing such an important place with your own eyes, can there? Well, no, definitely not. But on a personal level, if you were to become a lawyer, then, well, then what? Nothing. Nothing at all. Forget it. I said nothing. Ignore what I just said. Be distracted by my glorious flowing headband. Think nothing. Head empty. No thoughts. Yep. Kazuma-sama is... He was always saying the same thing. That he wanted to change the Japanese legal system. Perhaps he thought he could do that with you. Yeah, maybe. But something's still bothering me a little. The look in his eyes then. It was darker than I've ever seen it before. Susato-san, I'm sorry that we kept it a secret from you, my stowing away on the ship, I mean. If I know Kazuma-sama, I expect he was trying to protect me, to avoid me becoming guilty by association. That's actually right, yeah, that's perfect, actually. Last night. If you're not the culprit, then tell me. What happened last night in this cabin? Well, the thing is, I don't really remember. Because, as I've demonstrated in the first trial, I don't remember anything. My power of observation is high, but it doesn't really do much when I absent-mindedly pick up a gun, or just conveniently don't remember what happened when my best friend was murdered. Cosmo brought me something to eat, just like he always did. And then I got myself into that wardrobe over there, just like I always did. After that, I fell asleep. Well, yeah. So deeply that you didn't even stir when Kazuma-sama was killed? Well, yes. I know it sounds unbelievable, really, I do, but it's the truth. I'm innocent, again, for the second time. If only I'd woken up, then perhaps I wouldn't be in this predicament. And for some reason, my head's still throbbing like anything. Really? Is something wrong? Oh, no, it's... Please forget it. Susato-san, you have to believe me. I didn't do it. I really don't want to doubt you. But the trouble is, there is no one else who could possibly have done this. Not again. Kazuma, I don't understand. Why? Why did this have to happen? I can't take this. Don't try to go anywhere. You're the perpetrator of this crime. You can't leave. I can't allow that to happen. I'm sorry. But Kazuma was killed right under my nose here, and I didn't do anything to stop it. And now I'm supposed to just sit around, my hands tied, while whoever did this walks free? No, that's not happening. I can't allow that to happen. Well, what do you propose to do then? I'm going to investigate. I'm going to find out exactly what happened here. I'm going to work out who took Kazuma's life and how and why they did it. So I'm sorry, but you're going to have to excuse me. Hi-ya! Oh no, that was her. Well, I'm dead. She just judo flipped me. What? That was a Susato takedown. A Susato what? What martial art form is that? Whoop. Ooh, tapped out of the game for a sec. Sorry? Prove it. Yes, your innocence. I need evidence. But how am I supposed to... Have you forgotten already? What you achieved just a few weeks ago? You successfully defended yourself in a court of law? Ah, I see. She's expecting me to present some conclusive evidence. Really sucks that it's not innocent until proven guilty. It's guilty until proven innocent, but you know, that's... I guess I could find something. It's not like the drawer was covered by a sign or anything that would have been torn if I opened it. I have to get Susato-san to believe me. I'll show her some evidence right now that proves I'm not guilty of it. It's the paper seal. Kazuma would stick it over the doors of the wardrobe just for me.
Yes!
How would I have gotten it back on the door? Tell me, when I was discovered in the wardrobe before, was this piece of paper stuck over the doors? Oh, yes, it was. I remember clearly. I thought so. Kazuma always put it in place whenever I went to sleep in there, just in case the cabin steward or another crew member decided to look inside. So naturally, he did the same last night as well. Ah! Yes, of course. The gentleman who discovered you peeled that sign from the wardrobe doors before he opened them. But if I were truly the culprit, I couldn't have climbed back inside the wardrobe and stuck this on the outside of the doors on my own. Yes, that's quite true. In other words, it's impossible that I killed Kazuma. And you also gave me brain damage for no reason. Well, even if you are sprawled hopelessly on the floor, I can see why Kazuma-sama thought so highly of you. Thank you, Susato-san. Now, do you think perhaps you could help me up? I'm kind of really getting dizzy in this angle. Up is down, left is right. I'm in space. Well, in light of that evidence, I don't see any reason why I should stop you from investigating in here, at least. Thank you! So you finally believe me? I'm sorry, no. What? I'm not sure yet. I can't rule out the possibility that you used some sort of conjuring trick to put the sign back in position. What did you think I am, a magician? For now, I suggest you investigate as thoroughly as possible in here. I'll do the same. Alright, let's get to work, Susato-san. Please don't misunderstand me. I still have my doubts. Oh, okay. I shall be watching you to make sure you do nothing that might disturb the crime scene. I wouldn't want you using your conjuring tricks to destroy evidence, for example. Right. Sure. Well, anyway, I should make a start on investigating in here. Examine everything I can. Kazuma, I swear, I will avenge your death. Okay, so I know this is going to be 1,000% cope from me. I'm inhaling pure copium right now. But if Kazuma put something in my food that would have made me pass out, and then he had me get into the locker and put the thing on it, maybe he's not dead. Maybe not, because like there was no conclusive evidence of what killed him. I don't know, like he could have done it for some reason. Maybe to try and see how I would prove myself. Like I said, he might be dead. He might be dead. But I don't want him to be dead because he was a Chad. He had you get into the robot? Yeah, dude. He, like, I was Shinji and he was my dad. He made me get in the robot. Move, present. Let's examine first. Oh, what's up, Russian dude? How you doing? Oh. Let's look at the desk. This is where dear Kazuma-sama would have sat whenever he was writing. London Diary. Poor Kazuma, he didn't even make it to his destination. It looks as though the last entry is incomplete. Which means... what? He was in the middle of writing it when the incident happened? Let's see what it says. It could be a valuable clue. Bruh! Let me read it at least! I'm not gonna touch it, Susato! What? Kazuma-sama may have departed this world, but you must not read his private thoughts. But what if it's something important? Something relevant to the case? You make a good point. Alright, I won't read it. Poor Kazuma-sama. I don't like prying into people's personal matters either. But in this case, isn't the need for clues more important? Man, she is too dedicated. Oh dear, that won't do. Oh, what's the matter, Susato? Whenever I'm examining things, I always find myself so focused, I forget to look around properly. Ah, yes, that's not good. I don't suppose you're as foolish as me in that regard, are you, Naruhodo-san? Whoop. You can click left, you can click right, you can go left and right and see more of the scene. If you didn't know, now you do. I'm sure you're careful to look all around using B and M? Why are those the keys? That's so weird. I suppose my field of vision has been rather small until now. I mean, and it's still going to be. Well, I'm just going to move around with arrows. It's much faster. Let us look at... I mean, I feel like the Russian's probably more important. Did Cosmo write that before he died? Looks like it's written in ink. He must have knocked the ink pot from the desk when he collapsed on the floor. Then, I suppose he wrote this message by dipping his finger in the spillage? Poor Kazuma-sama. No doubt he was in terrible pain. It's almost unbearable to imagine it. I suppose he was trying to leave some kind of a clue in his final moments, was he? Well, we assumed it was Russian. If it's upside down, it's... okay, it's not upside down. It might actually be in Russian. I'm sorry, partner. I can't read your writing. I don't think that's Japanese, Naruhodo-san. What? Then what language is it? It pains me to admit it, but I don't know. It's not a foreign script I'm familiar with. What does it mean, I wonder? Oh, it'll show me a check mark if I've examined something? Well, I mean, then let's examine the case. It's a very large traveling case, isn't it? Yes, it carries a lot of memories for me. Memories? What do you mean? Well, that's actually how I stowed away on this vessel. I was brought on board inside that case. Yes. I see it says "this way up" in Japanese. Which, in hindsight, I should have realized the foreign crewmate wouldn't be able to read it. I was turned over and over, and then I was tossed on the floor in here. Oh dear, being a stowaway isn't as romantic as it sounds. Well, it was less painful than a Susato takedown. Can I investigate the paper? I've investigated it thoroughly, but I can't find anything out of place. So this whole thing is part of this message, I assume? Oh, okay, this is just going through the same thing. Okay, yep. It's in a script that I don't recognize, and I can't read it. It's not Japanese, it's probably Russian. Everything is knocked over on this shelf. I assume that's because we're on a ship and things move. Calligraphy, his sword, a knife, Jesus, what is that? Is that a bone? Is that like a turkey leg or something? It has the little, like, white thing that goes on the end of it, like in those commercials. Let's investigate the bookshelf first. The books have fallen over on the shelf. Look, they're all toppled the same way. And what's this? A statue of some god of the sea? Although he's fallen over as well. Well, yeah, it's almost as if the whole shelf has been ransacked, and everything mown down at once. I wonder if perhaps it was Kazuma-sama doing morning sword training, do you think? I seriously doubt it. He would have cut those in half. Then perhaps it was you, Naruhodo-san, in a fit of rage. Again? Not me. Still not me, Susato. I wouldn't have bothered leaving the wardrobe just to mess up a few books and a statue. Could the way these things have been thrown about have anything to do with the case, I wonder? Well, I'll just set everything straight again. I don't like to see a mess. Oh no, wait, that was her. So it wasn't the ship. What's the notice? Is this Russian? Oh, it's English on the bottom. These are the rules of passage for travel aboard the SS Buria. It's essentially a list of requests from the captain to all passengers on board. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. But he had a sword. Why'd they let him come here with a sword then? What? Why are you staring at me? Oh, sorry, I was just thinking. Are you more of a dangerous object or a pet? I can't decide. Well, one thing's for sure. Either way, I wasn't supposed to be in here. Alright. What is this? A smear? And a broken bell? Is that a bell? Looks like a broken piece of glassware. Whatever the thing was, it appears to have broken clean in two. The glass is such a beautiful color. It looks like a cute little Netsuke fastener from a kimono outfit. I'm not sure that sounds like Kazuma. He wouldn't have secretly carried a cute little trinket like that around with him, would he? He was more of a bandana type of guy. And the mark beside it, what is it, I wonder? It has a sort of brick-like hue. Yes, you're right. It's the color of brick, isn't it? Even though I don't see anything of the same color anywhere else in the room. So something smeared there. What about... Oh, nope. Didn't mean to do that. Meant to press space. Yeah. The knife and the bone. That's my dinner from last night. A roast chicken. It was really tasty. Yes, it was very delicious, wasn't it? But, did you eat it on the floor here? I'm not a dog, Susato-san. I ate at the table, of course. Which begs the question of when and how the plate ended up on the floor. Well, it's upside down on the floor. Well, but Kazuma-sama didn't like chicken at all, did he? No, that's right. So he didn't touch it. Which meant all the more for me. Oh no, does that mean poor Kazuma spent his last night on his earth with an empty belly? It's just too horrible. Now I suddenly have a guilty conscience and an achy stomach. Let's look at the sword. Perhaps I should see... Oh, no, I don't care about the Russian crewmate. No! Excuse me.
What?
I was wondering how it's going. The investigation, I mean.
Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes, but that is not true, I see.
Sorry?
The criminal asking investigator for information about this crime? Very funny.
Oh, it wasn't supposed to be a joke. He doesn't appear to be laughing either. He's convinced you're guilty. He might have useful information, though. I have to keep trying. So, last night, did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all?
Niet, of course not. Now back to the corner of the room and make silent. I say no more to you.
Did I hit a nerve? Just for a minute there. He seemed a little flustered. Yeah, Mr. Big Bad Russian Man? But I want to talk about... No, not that one. Not E. It's not E. It's spacebar. That's Kazuma-sama's precious sword. He never went anywhere without it. Yes, he was always saying that a Japanese man's katana is his soul. I believe he had work to do. I believe he had to work very hard to convince the government to allow him to bring it on this trip. I suppose that just shows how important it was to him. And now he's gone. But I'm not ready to let his spirit go just yet. Anything? I mean, I might as well investigate the table. There's nothing on this table at all. The plate and cutlery are all over the floor for some reason. Yes, it's strange. Last night when I went to sleep, I'm sure everything was still... No, wait a minute. What is it? That's funny. I can't seem to remember anything about what happened after dinner at all. So then perhaps you are responsible for what happened to Kazuma-sama. No, stop that. Stop that. I already said no. I would never have killed him. I'm pretty sure even if I was drunk, I couldn't have killed him. I mean, look at him. He had a sword. Actually, first, nothing on that picture, but let's investigate this. Seigi, the Japanese word for justice. The brush strokes are straight and true, just like Kazuma. Yes, his calligraphy always was a reflection of his heart. Yet can you really look at those characters without feeling shame, knowing who drew them so thoughtfully? Of course I can! I'm not the one who killed them! Him. I mean, I'm innocent, so why shouldn't I be able to?
Even though you stowed away on the ship?
I mean, yeah, Kazuma had me do it. Now you're gonna bring that up, are you? I can't win. Let's look at the door.
When I went for help and the crewman forced the door open, this bolt had been firmly closed.
It's quite a small bolt and not particularly sturdy. It just slides across to secure the door shut. But still, with the door bolted, there would be no way to get in or out of the cabin, that's for sure. It's no wonder that everyone suspects me. When she glares at me like that, I feel tense all up and down my spine. I remember reading once in a detective novel. The culprit used a needle and thread to draw a bolt across from the room in a situation like this.
Yes, that's a clever trick, isn't it? I'm an avid reader of detective stories myself. But the door of this cabin and its frame are made of metal, and they seal together perfectly. There would be no possibility of using that needle and thread trick here, I'm afraid.
When she glares at me like that, I feel pins and needles all up and down my spine. Okay, so is there anything hiding over here? No. Read that. Talked to the Russian. Went to the door. Sword, chicken bones, table, smudge on the ground, his dead body, the case, the desk, the shelf, the warning. Let's turn to the left slightly. It's definitely the vent. They got out through the vent. It's not even a question. Anything over here? Nope, just a locker. Okay, let's go into the cabinet.
It's some 2 weeks since we set sail from Japan. Have you really been living inside that wardrobe the entire time, Naruhodo-san?
I think living isn't quite the right description.
Oh, I suppose not. Although, it must have been rather exciting making this voyage in your own secret hideout.
The trouble was, I never knew when a member of the crew might come in. So, yes, I did basically have to live in the wardrobe. And last night was no exception.
But because of that, you had no idea what was happening out here in the cabin.
No, sadly not.
Vent! I think that's some sort of opening for a ventilator. A hole through which fresh air can circulate into the cabin.
Isn't that a little odd?
What do you mean?
Well, this ventilator, if that's what it is, looks like it must connect to the next door cabin.
Yes, it would appear to, you're right.
But if its purpose is to allow fresh air into the room, surely it should be connected to the outside.
That's true. Perhaps so that rain and spray don't find their way in when the seas are rough, or something like that.
I suppose maybe that's it. Oh, shit! Hello. Hello, Herlock Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes. As far as I can tell, it looks like he might be a European.
Oh, how did he...
You've noticed the man too now, have you? I have no idea who he is or how he got in here, but he looks suspicious. And tall. Suspiciously tall.
Naruhodo-san, don't tell me. Do you really not know who that is?
Well, no, I don't have any foreign friends or acquaintances at all. He doesn't look like a member of the crew. There's something very unusual about him. And is he investigating Kazuma's desk, or is he just playing on it? I can't tell.
Well, in that case, we simply must talk with him.
Am I just imagining it, or does Susato look almost uncontrollably excited?
By the way, I expect that you've noticed already, but just in case, if you press space on people when they're crosshairs, you can converse with them.
Alright, I'll get that suspiciously tall gentleman in my sights and see what he has to say for himself.
Oh, please do!
I can move? I'm in handcuffs and under house arrest by the crew, not to mention Susato's constant glares. I think it's fair to say that I'm stuck in this cabin, for the time being at least. So I will be able to move. Eventually. I can only examine. Hello. Herlock. How you doing? Excuse me. Excuse me, do you have a moment? Shh! This is a critical point in my investigation. How do I do a British accent? What do British people sound like? I can only think of the super heavy Cockney accent. Which I mean obviously just isn't Sherlock Holmes. I mean Herlock Sholmes. Maybe I should leave him alone. He seems a little unfriendly. Yes, perhaps that would be for the best. Oh god! Greetings! Oh god! Ah! What exactly were you doing on Cosmo's desk just now? Ah, I see. Fascinating. Sorry? What do you see? It feels like he's looking right through me. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. No. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. No. What's a good voice for him? What's a good pretty boy voice? Maybe I should just give him a surfer voice. Oh, yes. Everything is clear now. The train of reasoning has run its course. My deductions have crystallized. You have been in Afghanistan, I perceive. Just recently returned, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry? What? And now... Nope, that's still not the right voice. Maybe a pretty voice is right. But I don't know how pretty boys sound. Confident? Masculine? Some sort of mixture of the two? And now, while venturing toward foreign climes, you find yourself in a most troubling predicament. Oh, well, that's true at least. But how? How the deuce did I know that? Perhaps. It was really a most elementary deduction, hardly worth explaining. Have you perhaps managed to deduce anything else? But of course, a great many things. There is no mystery, my dear madame. For example, you have fled your native land of Russia, and you are a merciless revolutionary. You leave 16 victims of assassination in your wake, and now travel to England to blow up the Crystal Tower. And when the beriband occupant of this very room discovered your identity, you ended his life too. Yes, I believe that summarizes the facts beautifully. No need to hide the truth now. Nothing deceives these eyes. Just to be clear, you're talking about me, right? Certainly I am. Oh my god. I had he's Johnny Bravo. I'll just make him Johnny Bravo. Hoo-ha! Do you see another in this cabin who fits the bill? A Russian assassin with 16 victims to his name? I don't even see one person who fits the bill. So it's true. It was you who did this to Kazuma-sama. He just said we were in Afghanistan, Susato. When would I have been in Afghanistan? At all? Use your brain. What? And you're plotting a revolution too. It's shameful behavior, Naruhodo-san. Absolutely wicked. No, listen. There's no air. Hiya! Up and back on the floor I go. Now explain yourself. Tell me everything. Really wish you would have let me do that before fucking throwing me. This is ridiculous. Oh, come on. Use your head. How could you do it? For pity's sake, open your eyes. I'm not a Russian revolutionary, obviously. You see my slanted eyes? You hear my Japanese voice speaking Japanese words to you? With my black hair and my black eyes? What about me says Russian? What? What, Susato? What? Tell me. Oh, forgive me. And as for you, what kind of deduction was that? You were just saying the first thing that came to your head. Hoo-ha! Was I not right? Whilst venturing towards foreign climes, you do find yourself in a most troubling predicament, do you not? Well, yes, maybe. Ha! There you have it, you see. What do you make of that, Well, to be honest, this ship is en route to England, and I'm in handcuffs at the scene of a murder. So, I'm not really sure you could call it deduction. It's more plain observation. Indeed, an observation, my dear boy, is the basis of all deduction. My method is founded upon the observation of trifles, you see. I announce my findings with a brassy certitude. And more often than not, I'm right. One of these. I don't think you introduced yourself. Ah, my apologies. How remiss of me. For you see, I am none other than the greatest detective of the century, known to men and women, the women over. The women over? The world over. The inimitable Sherlock Sholmes. Damn, bro, gonna have to cancel you now. Right? So, it's really you? The actual Sherlock Sholmes? The very same. The inimitable, actual Sherlock Sholmes. Do you know this man, Susato-san? The most famous detective in the world, Naruhodo-san? Of course I do. There's nobody who hasn't heard of him. What planet have I been living on, then? We must ask him what he's deduced. We will have worked out the entire case already, I'm sure. Oh yeah? Like you worked out that I'm Russian? And an assassin? And then I've killed 16 people? Sure, let's talk with him, I guess. You're a great detective, huh? Sorry, what was your name again? Indeed, I am none other than the one and only Sherlock Sholmes. Oh, I see. You're German? Herlock, was it? No, I have no her. I mean, I have hair. Please call me Sholmes. You can read all about my exploits in this exciting London publication. Oh yes, Ranced magazine, full of wonderful short stories and interest articles from Great Britain. I never miss an issue. I have it sent from England especially. Ah, yeah, here it is. The Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes. So, you're the protagonist in a series of short stories then? Indeed I am. And you've read so many of your own stories, you've started to think you really are a detective. Make no mistake, I'm not the poor deluded fellow you take me for. Your inference is backward. Backward? My trusty biographer records my greatest detecting achievements and chronicles them in the magazine. You have a biographer, do you? Doesn't everyone? Mine goes by the name of Dr. Wilson, presently keeping shop in London. Dr. Wilson? Ah. I must say, thanks to that publication, I've been fantastically busy of late. Hoo-ha! Why, this very moment, I'm returning from Asia, having solved the mystery of a cursed royal crown. Really? I can't work out whether I should take this man seriously or not. Deduction, you see, is to me a science, logical reasoning in its purest form. A science? Really? The astute observer notices even the most subtle of reactions in his subject. A furtive glance, a twitch of a muscle, a slight inclination of the posture. Fingernails, arm sleeves, furrows in the skin, all these are things are data! Data, collect it, and you will know. Right, sure. And the trained logician makes deductions from his data in the blink of an eye. The ultimate conclusion is, without fail, the truth! As I demonstrated only a few moments ago. How can he look me in the eye and claim that? So you see, I have a turn both for observation and deduction, and fame. Especially fame. This guy is essentially just Gilderoy Lockhart from Harry Potter. If you guys don't know, Gilderoy Lockhart basically wrote stories about himself, but he would basically take people's adventures, wipe their memories of the events, and then claim that he did them. So he's essentially just a fraud. This guy feels very much like that. He probably either took other people's stories or made them up, and he's just bought into it completely. That he's just the best. That is what makes me the one and only Herlock Sholmes. Okay, what about his death? Have you managed to deduce anything about this particular case yet? Have I managed to deduce anything? My dear fellow! Who do you suppose discovered the culprit in his most cunning hiding place? That's right! Ha! It was none other than the great detective before you now, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Ah, I see. In other words, I'm in these now because of him. When I became anxious about Kazuma-sama this morning, I summoned all of the crew members to force the cabin door open. And I concealed myself among their number, gaining entry to the scene of the crime. Yes, luckily for everyone, the great detective, Herlock Sholmes, was on board. And the handcuffs seemed to be an excellent fit, Mr. Naruhodo. The very moment I laid eyes on the scene, 2 facts were immediately apparent to me. Oh, really? 2 facts, you say? 2 facts. What are they? Tell me. Mr. Sholmes, tell us, please, what 2 facts were apparent to you when you came into this cabin this morning? Ah, yes, but first, let us be precise. The 2 facts in question were immediately apparent to me. Yes, I understand. What were they? Allow me to elucidate. The 2 facts that I deduced from a mere momentary glance at the scene of the crime were as follows. Number 1. The cabin was locked from within, rendering escape of the culprit out of the question. Number 2. The victim was Russian and killed following a dispute with an acquaintance. Hold on, Mr. Sholmes. What made you think the victim was Russian? Observe the dying message left by the victim on the floor. I can't read Russian. I don't know how to pronounce that. That is the Russian word for wardrobe. Do you really think Kazuma-sama could have left a dying message in Russian? Bro, you grew up with him! You should know if he knows Russian! He obviously doesn't! In their final moments, many find their negative tongue filling in their head. For this young man, Russian. Kazuma was Russian, was he? Initially, I considered Garderob may be the name of the killer. A certain Robert Tegard, perhaps. But in the interests of thoroughness, I decided it would be wrong not to look inside the wardrobe there, at least. Where you found Mr. Naruhodo sleeping soundly. Huh! Quite so. I found you, the renowned Russian revolutionary killer. Why is it that I'm Russian too? I observed that you were wearing the same attire as the victim. In other words, you were acquainted. And if my memory serves, that outfit is the traditional dress of the Russian people. Our school uniforms are the traditional dress of the Russian people? I had no idea. Damn, bro. Gotta... Whew. And I have no idea Detective could get something so wrong. Yeah! I took a photograph of the victim and the message, that I might analyze it for possible hidden details. No, his headbands, they're not flowing. This was taken immediately after the young man was discovered, before the body was removed. Yes, Kazuma had already been taken away when I woke up. This is the first time I've actually seen him like this. Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, yes. Thank you. The photograph of the crime scene has been entered into the court record. The Russian word for wardrobe in purple ink. It would appear to have been written in the victim's final moments. Why are we just believing... Can I ask you something, Mr. Sholmes? What, pray? You mentioned Russia before as well, didn't you? You know, when you said I was a fearsome revolutionary fleeing from Russia and all that? Ah, yes. The train of reasoning that led me to the truth. Would you mind explaining the train of reasoning to me, do you think? I don't know what that means. Certainly, if it interests you. How many times? I'm not Russian and I don't speak Russian. Your deduction just now. Can we talk about your deduction before? The things you concluded about me, I mean. Ah, the now famous, accurate, troubling predicament you find yourself in. Actually, it was the other details that I was more hoping to discuss. You know, the merciless Russian revolutionary and assassin of 16 part. Ah, yes, the more sordid details. It was a fairly commonplace deduction. Here we have this morning's paper. The main headline reads: Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. Shanghai, you say? Where that punk with the goose on her head was? This vessel made a port call at Shanghai yesterday, and last night the young Russian was murdered. Since when was Cosma a Russian? It sounds like Mr. Sholmes has concluded he was Russian because of what Cosma wrote on the floor. It was a simple act of reasoning to realize that the culprit of this crime was the same merciless revolutionary, one who would kill the very man who helped him to escape after his true identity was discovered. Yes, you, villain Bolshevik! No, how could it be me? I don't look anything like him! Just look at him, dude! Use your eyes! Well, you are a fearsome revolutionary after all. Hoo-ha! Therefore, you have no doubt learned to revolutionize your appearance as well! Please, someone throw this dude overboard. And, I might add, your name does not appear on the ship's passenger list. Need I say more? Well, that's because I'm a stowaway. What about the other details? The 16 victims of assassination and blowing up the Crystal Tower? Ah, yes, the journalist clearly interviewed the man and printed all those particulars in the article. The deeds the man has perpetrated thus far, and those he is plotting. Yes, everything about this revolutionary Bolshevik was included. There can be no mistake. Do revolutionaries usually agree to interviews with newspaper reporters, I wonder? And what about the part where you said I was just returning from Afghanistan? Also quite clearly stated here in the article. Bolshevik is recently returned after a period of subversive activities in a war-torn region of Afghanistan. Where even is it anyways? This Afghanistan place. Bro, Ryunosuke does not know the world map, like, whatsoever. I think he only knows Japan, and that's it. That's the only place he knows. Here, take the paper for yourself as a little memento of this great deduction. Oh, thank you. I've absorbed all that is of interest to me within its pages, but I see no rubbish bin nearby. Oh, so he's just giving it to us to throw away, essentially. Okay, court record acquired. And you may find the article on the back page of interest as well. On the back? Cast your eye over it sometimes if the interest takes you, though you may need someone to interpret. I'm just gonna fucking... What does it say? Tell me. This is interesting. Have you found something relevant, Naruhodo-san? Well, no, I mean, it looks like it might be interesting. I can't read a single word, I'm afraid. No, nor can I. But look at this picture. Perhaps it's about a beautiful young Russian princess, do you think? She is very pretty, isn't she? I suppose you enjoy articles like this, do you? I don't know. I can't make any sense of it. I'm glad you noticed this article. Allow me to give you a short summary of its contents. Oh, thank you. He pops up everywhere, this Mr. Sholmes. It's about the disappearance of a young lady last night. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. During a performance in Shanghai, the famous dancer was reported missing. She is, of course, the talented, young Nikolina Pavlova. Why are Russian names so hard to remember? It would appear the woman was in costume when she was found to be missing from her dressing room, wearing the diamond tiara you see pictured, which is worth some 20,000 rubles. Man, that's like a whole 20 cents! Bro, that's crazy. Oh, how much is 20,000 rubles? I have no idea, but I'm quite sure it must be an unbelievable sum of money. Unbelievably small, yeah, pretty much. Susato-san's eyes are shining like diamonds themselves.
The tiara is property of the Novovich Ballet. It would seem the director is beside herself with worry.
Yes, I'm not all that surprised.
The company is most anxious to recover both Miss Pavlova and the valuable tiara. They've requested international assistance at all ports with sailing to Great Britain.
Could this be another case of a Russian fleeing his or her country?
It does seem to be the Russian thing to do.
I'm not even going to dignify that with a response, Mr. Naruhodo. The article about the ballerina has been entered in the court record.
Alright. Well, back to what you were saying.
It's all written in Russian. I couldn't hope to read it. But I suppose it wouldn't hurt just to glance at the article. Maybe there might be a picture.
Alright. Or were you just investigating?
Before we started talking, you were examining Kazuma's desk, weren't you?
Kazuma? Ah, yes, the victim.
Did you notice anything useful? Anything at all?
Huh. Observe for a moment the desktop of the victim. A diary!
The victim was engaged in penning some text. London diary. Kazuma was keeping notes of the trip.
Ah, but...
I don't think you should read his private writings. It could upset people.
Tragic! And something you ought to perhaps elucidate before the act of reading.
You mean you've read it already?
It is my business to know what other people do not. Yes, believe it or not, I know a smattering of Japanese.
Oh, I see. Well, you're about to know what a Susato takedown is. She's not going to do it. She's not going to do anything. Susato-san? Aren't you going to throw the detective with one of your trademark takedowns? I'm sorry, Naruhodo-san. What on earth do you mean? Life is so unfair.
Anyway, to return to the matter at hand, namely, this diary belonging to the victim. It would appear the final sentence is incomplete, as if the author were cut short. Tell me, what is the nature of the writing? Pray, be precise to the details.
Oh, but I thought you knew Japanese.
A smattering, dear boy, a smattering. I know sayonara and konnichiwa, as those are the common greetings. And only greetings. Sayonara, bonsai. I mean, I knew it would be sayonara. I knew sayonara would be one of them.
Sayonara, bonsai, mikado, nado nado.
I trust you're suitably impressed. But this diary is littered with complicated-looking characters, of which I can read precisely none.
So what was all that showing off before then? If you would be so kind as to show me, I would be happy to read it to you, Mr. Sholmes.
I'm much obliged, my dear madame. You smell pretty. Want to smell me?
Yeah, no, I know, I don't know. You don't have to tell me. Doesn't sound like Johnny Bro whatsoever. It kind of just sounds like a more fluid Kazuma. The final entry here in Kazuma-san's Sama's diary consists of 2 short sentences. The first reads, 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. A whistling sound?
These are very deep waters. Pray, go on.
The second sentence reads, 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. A speckled band? What on earth does that mean? I have no idea. I've never heard that expression before.
The ventilator grill, you say? The man was presumably referring to that over there!
Yep, the lattice there on the wall, which connects to the adjoining cabin. Yeah, the adjoining cabin. Kazuma's diary has been entered into the court record.
So, I believe I've given you enough to consider for the time being, at least.
Do you have somewhere to go?
As it happens, the victim's writing in this diary have piqued my interest. Hoo-ha! The matter warrants further investigation, I believe, and if I am still too long, the sickness takes hold. Seasickness takes hold.
Oh, I suppose you're thinking of investigating the cabin next door, which the ventilator connects to? Great detectives are a curious breed. Our minds rebel at stagnation. We crave mental exaltation. So yes, I intend to investigate. Hence the truth will become clear soon enough. Do you think perhaps that we could go with you? No, that would be somewhat complicated. What? But why? A simple glance at your wrists should reveal the answer. Oh, these. After all, you're the prime suspect in this matter. No? There's no point trying to turn it into a question. You're the one who decided I was the culprit in the first place. Whatever do you mean? I have no recollection of naming you as the culprit at any point. What kind of fresh bullshit is this? You must be joking. You just said it only a moment ago. Dear me, you are clearly misguided. I would have no cause to say such a thing. Well, actually, Mr. Sholmes, I did hear you say that too. You're quite sure? Well, that's very strange. I wouldn't have said you had the face of a criminal, you know. Not really. So, what? Were you just looking at my knees before? Some great detective you are. Well, anyway, that was then and this is now. What do you mean? What I mean, sir, is this. If you are the culprit, then you must play the part more convincingly. Roll over and accept your fate. Now he's just being plain rude. Yeah, no, this guy, I don't like him. I don't like Sherlock. No, I don't like Sherlock Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes. And off he goes, having just laughed in my face. His sense of humor is as twisted as his name. Naruhodo-san, what are you just standing there for? Huh? We must go and investigate the cabin next door as well. Aren't you forgetting something? What about these? There's no egg. Oh, God! Did she really just throw me? Because of that? After Kazuma-sama spent his dying moments struggling to leave us a clue, you're willing to give up? You're just going to roll over and accept your fate? You were the one who was telling me I was guilty, Susato. You're the one who keeps throwing me because you think I'm guilty, Susato. Please. I think we still have some investigation to finish off here first, don't we? Let's carry on examining what we can in this cabin while we wait for the chance to slip next door. Good idea. The situation doesn't look good for me, but there are still things I can do to help myself. And I owe it to Kazuma to do everything I can to find a way out of this, and bring the real culprit to justice. Is something wrong, Naruhodo-san? Oh, no, it's just that crewmate standing by the door. I can't help feeling I've seen him somewhere before. Oh, yes, you're right. He does look familiar. Excuse me, sir. Yes? What can I do for you? Wait. Is this dude gonna be in every single chapter? Just disguised as someone? Or is he stalking me? He might be stalking me. God, what are you doing here? I recognize that face, but it can't be. It is! I didn't know you were here, Inspector Hosonaga. Hello again. What are you doing here? I think that should be my line. I was so stunned when I saw you, my heart stopped. Nearly stopped, I hoped. I received some special orders to go undercover as a member of the crew and board this ship. Again? You certainly seem to enjoy undercover work, Inspector. If there's anything I could do to help you, please ask. I never expected to see this man on board, but perhaps his presence can help me out of this most hopeless situation. Let's converse, actually. Yeah, let's converse. Special orders. What were your orders? So what are your special orders this time, Inspector? Yes, and why are you dressed as a member of the crew?
I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. I take full responsibility.
For what?
My orders were to act as Osogi-san's bodyguard. It was Minister of Justice Jigoku who pushed for this overseer study tour to go ahead. And he entrusted me with ensuring that Osogi-san reached Great Britain without being assassinated.
Assassinated? What? How could that have even been a possibility?
I'm not sure. But these are complicated times. There are tensions between the world's greatest powers. Minister Jigoku said that we should be prepared for all eventualities.
This is incredible.
I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama was assassinated? Obviously, we wouldn't give Osogi-san a visible security escort. Which is why I'm undercover now, posing as one of the crew.
I see.
And I didn't take my eyes off him the entire time we've been on board, from morning until night, every day. But I never imagined it would happen here, inside his own cabin, not here on the first-class deck. I failed miserably at my assignment, and Osogi-san is dead as a result. I'm a disgrace! All I could do is humbly apologize.
Inspector.
So if there's anything at all I could do to help right now, just say the word.
Permission to investigate. We're doing what we can to investigate Kazuma's death ourselves.
I thought you might be. You didn't do it, did you? You're not the killer?
Of course not.
We'd really like to investigate the cabin next door. Yes, so we need to be allowed out of this cabin. I'm sorry.
What?
You've been deemed a risk to the ship's safety. If you move to even touch the handle of the cabin door, that stormy-looking seaman would surely snap your neck in two.
I suppose I'm not just a stowaway now. They think I'm a murderer as well.
That is the case. Would it be possible to give me something to work with, do you think? I'm going to need something persuasive.
What do you mean?
If I had a solid reason why the next-door cabin should be investigated, for example, I'd do everything I could to persuade the captain to allow it. Really, I'd lay my life on the line if I had to.
But I don't see how... Use your evidence, man.
There may be a way.
What? Really?
Think of how you tried to persuade me of your innocence, Naruto-san, by presenting me evidence.
Because everyone knows in this country, it's guilty until proven innocent. There's no such thing as anything without evidence. You need to have evidence to do anything. Yep, I understand. Evidence that would give me a viable reason to investigate next door cabin, huh? Alright, yes, I think I might know what we can use. Let's see if I can present the detective with the evidence he needs to persuade the captain. Let's go back. Let us present to you his diary. Yes, this one. Oh, right, it's R. Why is it space for some things and R for others?
What's that?
It's Kazuma's diary.
Just before he died, Kazuma-sama wrote something rather strange in his diary. Strange? In what way? He wrote, "What looks like some kind of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill." A speckled band? That is strange.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure out what he meant by that. But what I'd like to know is...
Don't tell me. The ventilator, is it? You're very astute, Inspector. That ventilator clearly joins the next-door cabin.
That's right. So if we could investigate in there, we might be able to work out what that speckled band is. Or was.
All right then. Oh! I can't leave this cabin at the moment. I'm stuck here until we arrive at the next port. The captain has given me strict orders to guard the scene of the crime, you see. I'll have to entrust the investigation to you. Really? You're willing to do that? Yes, as long as you don't leave the first-class cabin area,
I'm afraid I can't remove those handcuffs, though. But what about the captain? Aren't you going against his direct orders? I'm a man of my word. And I promise you that I'll lay my life on the line if that's what it takes to convince the captain. After all, I failed to keep Asogi-san safe. That is the least I can do. Thank you. Let's seize this moment then, Naruhodo-san. Just select move, and we can leave this cabin at last. Move. Alright, let's see what we can find out. Back out of here, and let us move. Oh god, there are going to be 4 other places to investigate, I guess. Let's go to the room. 9th January, 7:48 a.m. SS Buria, first class cabin, passageway. Whew, I'm finally out of that cabin. Stuffy in there. I have to admit, this isn't quite what I was expecting. It's less spacious out here than I thought it'd be. And this is the most luxurious accommodation. Yes, indeed. Kazuma-sama was being sent on the study tour by the government. That's why he was being put up in a first-class cabin. Even still, this is about twice as large as my accommodation in steerage. Really? That must be awful. Oh, look over there. That's another crewman keeping watch. And he looks enormous, even if he is sitting down. That door next to him leads to the second-class accommodation. I suppose he's making sure that no one comes in here who shouldn't. I suppose, like people in handcuffs? Naruhodo-san, you look like a little boy visiting a toy shop for the first time. I would have thought you'd be used to the ship by now. We've been at sea for 2 weeks already. Well, yes, I know, but the thing is, I was inside Kazuma's trunk when I first came aboard. And ever since then, I've been shut up inside that little wardrobe. It must have been a very trying time for you. Please, don't give me that pitying look. Alright, let's see. What am I doing? Ah, okay. That said, Acolights, I think that's going to be it for now. It is currently 11:10 for me, and I do have work tomorrow. I'll catch this up next week. Ideally, we can prove my innocence for a second time. That's getting kind of out there. That plus that we have to present all of the evidence to defend ourselves, even when someone is clearly the person who did it. Well, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes next time, Acolights. I hope you have a good night, and I hope you have a good, well-deserved rest, actually. Talk to you later.